Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. I'm happy to be here. Hope you are too. Appreciate you joining us. I'm Jeff. That is Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you're going to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. But hey, we lead busy lives, many distractions, and responsibilities. So when you get some downtime, get caught up. We make it easy. All 3 hours posted every day upon the conclusion, both on our website in the audio vault, but also on iTunes, where you can rate, review, 5 stars, send it about. Others will find it more readily. Email us if you like, jcs at 979espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's at jcameron show. WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers and Periscopers. Hope you're well. Boy, I feel great. I am happy. I feel great. Tom woke up this morning awfully early, walked outside. You had that brisk fall weather for the first time all year long. I did a little dance. I was taking out the trash. Did a little dance in the driveway. I must have looked crazy, but it was 5:50 in the morning, so I don't think anybody saw me. It was I had the boxers going, and it was a little weird if you looked over, because I literally did do a dance.
So were those the tournament train wins?
Those are the these days, you're right, the tournament train wins. We can't call them the football wins anymore. Heartbreaking as that is. Damn it, man. I'll still call them the football wins because it encompasses all things football, not just our sorry product, but all things football. So, you got that. Speaking of which, there's football on tonight, both the college and pro variety. Okay, to couple that with a little playoff baseball, knock on wood, that the inclement weather doesn't get the best of that, and we get plenty of action tonight. NFL, college, Major League. All righty then. Throw in the NHL. It's a good time. I do feel good. I also bought a new bed recently, and I'm sleeping better than I ever have. It's awesome.
I think, you know what, that's the real deal here. Is usually the last thing when you list a bunch of things you're happy about or you're not happy about.
Oh, the bed is making me the happiest?
The last thing is the one. So the bed is helping you with quality of life.
That is true. That is legitimately true. I've known that we needed a new bed. My wife and I bought the bed that we just got rid of when we bought the house that we moved into, right when she was pregnant with my oldest, whose birthday is next month. So he'll be 12. She was, that bed was old.
That's a minute.
It was time. And so we got a new bed. Yeah, I did the research. I'm becoming old, man. I'm sitting there steady diving into the numbers. I'm looking at Consumer Reports. When you start checking Consumer Reports, yes, that makes you responsible, but it also makes you old. Old people love to cite Consumer Reports. They love it. They can't wait to hand you their Consumer Reports magazine. Now it's digital, but they never wanted the digital copy. They always wanted the physical copy.
But will Consumer Reports be around in 10, 15 years with all the reviews you can do at different places?
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. But I didn't just go to Consumer Reports. I went lots of places. That is the problem. I learned in this process of looking for a new bed that, man, first of all, you can spend as much or as little as you want on a bed. It's unbelievable. I mean, if you feel like getting space-age technology and sleeping in a freaking chamber or something, you can spend like $25,000.
Also known as the TB12 method.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah, and $25,000 is in his back pocket, so it's no big deal. Whereas the average Joe like you and me, not throwing down $25,000 for a freaking bed. But I also didn't want to get some hodgepodge, quickly slapped together piece of garbage that I would have to replace in a few years, because just like every other piece of furniture, they mark everything up way up over cost. So I know that. I'm like, all right, let's get it right. Let's do it. And I think I got it right. I think I hit a home run. Love my bed, sleeping well. And then it's even better when you get up after a refreshing night's sleep and you walk outside and it's not hot. It's not hot for the first time in forever.
Is it helping you with the early wake-up calls that you don't want? Have you slept in later?
I don't sleep. I don't sleep much these days. I just want the sleep that I do get to be high-quality sleep, just to be good. If I'm only going to, this is one of the things, a couple of things about getting old. A, you lose your hair, but I've had no hair for a long time now, and I don't care about that anymore. I actually like being bald. I like not having, it's one less thing you have to worry about. I don't have to worry about my hair. I don't have any. So there you go. I don't worry about it. But they do take your sleep. Aging takes your sleep. And I don't know if that's worry about all the other things that come into your life or what it is, but I used to really like to sleep. But from the first time we ever had to go on the road together, I get up early. I woke your ass up. I was like, let's go, Tom.
That was the last time a Coastal team won the ACC football championship was 2010. I do remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go get us a bagel. Come on. Let's get some coffee.
Come on, Bubba. 7:05. I gave you plenty of time. Really?
I believe that was a quote.
Yeah.
It's 7:05. I gave you plenty of time.
You're welcome to start your day without me, man. No, come on.
Come
Nonsense.
on, buddy. Let's go.
Come
Let's
on.
get going.
Beautiful outside. Let's go.
It was beautiful. It was. It was chilly. Remember that?
Yes, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't thinking because I was groggy. And so I got shorts and, like a little pullover on.
I gave you an extra hour, Tom. Come on, let's go.
Gave you plenty of time. I didn't realize we were on some sort of schedule for the 8 o'clock kick tonight.
Morning only comes once. Come on, here we go. Let's go. Let's get this thing rolling.
Our pregame show was on at like 4. Didn't matter. We needed to be up at 7.
That was all part of a great day, though, because we ended up Matt Millen coming in and acting crazy.
Oh, my God.
And thankfully he's okay.
Thankfully he's okay. That's a big dude. Holy
That's
cow.
a mountain of a man.
Like, he would translate today. That dude would still play today.
Oh, he would have been a good linebacker in today's game, yes. Isn't it funny when you meet people like that, when you meet guys that were legends of, like, say, the 60s or 70s? He was in the 80s, but when and you see those guys, you're like, you know what? That son of a bitch could play right now. Look at him. That dude is for real. That no wonder he was dominant,
He must have been a different species in those days.
I remember all of his career. I can remember him with Oakland. I can remember him with San Francisco. I mean, he was a monster. He was a star. And he was a linebacker. He was nuts. And that's back in the day where fullbacks were an integral part of the game. So you took on lead fullbacks and discarded them and made plays.
I just remember thinking that because it was he and McDonough on the call, that is
McDonough's like 2 feet tall.
It's an incredible booth because you got to have how many boxes stacked up for because that's what they do. They put the little guys. Tirico does this. They put them on little boxes so they could be somewhat close. I think it's at least shoulder height with the actual analyst. So for McDonough, it might have been a full stepladder.
And even then, when they took the shot of the booth, he was still a foot and a half shorter.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
But that's legitimately what they have little platforms for these guys.
Yeah. All right. Let's move forward and talk about Florida State's victory over Wake Forest. It's going to start the big win streak. Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight wins. I'm the count over here from Sesame Street. We've got it. 5 straight victories start this Saturday. Won't you come out to Hangar 38 and watch victory number 1 of 5 in a row with us? Video games, good food, good people, good eats, good drinks, good times. They abound at Hangar 38 with us watching the game. We'll be there as the Noles take down Wake. Are we going to have a freaking tropical storm up there while we're playing this game? Have you checked the weather window yet?
Yeah, I have checked the weather window.
And it tells you what?
And it tells me that 50 degrees, 100% chance of rain up there.
Oh, that's good weather right there.
So
50 degrees.
But if it's
100%.
like, tropical weather in terms of the rainfall, sometimes you see rain games and it's a soft rain. And other times you see rain games and they're happening in Miami. Quite different in the rate of the rain coming down. So I can't speak to that. But we're also likely to experience a little bit of a tropical storm through our neck of the woods on Friday night, Saturday morning, somewhere in there.
Disappointing. I wanted a chance to sit outside and enjoy the cool breezes that we're currently getting. I may take time to do that this evening so that I have at least a chance to relish this opportunity.
All I saw was the 10 a.m. update, but it said the earliest reasonable, you know how those things go. I think we're all experts at that now because Tallahassee's been hit a couple of times. The earliest reasonable arrival time for tropical storm force winds would be Friday night, but the most likely is overnight, Saturday morning breakfast time is when we're going to get a little bit of action there.
Well, the reason I ask is it's Redemption Thursday. I've got picks. It could affect the way I view certain totals that are out there and point spreads and the like. And also, more importantly, for us, this is a game that I wanted to be played in good weather. Bad offensive lines don't travel. We have a bad offensive line. Inclement weather typically requires you certainly to have some semblance of a run game. We don't really have much of one, at least not against teams that are expecting it. So, this could be problematic. It's not a game changer necessarily, at least in terms of, oh, my God, this is overwhelmingly in favor of Wake. I don't know about all that. I thought this was a number that was going to soar over the total. These two teams would score a lot of points against each other's porous defenses.
I would just take one issue there. I do think that, unfortunately, bad offensive lines, they, in fact, travel everywhere you go. They go with you. They open the door for you everywhere you go.
Yeah, they don't succeed is what I should have said. But
I know. I'm just messing.
No, I know. I would tell you that I still like Florida State here. I think this team is tougher mentally. If we're looking for the areas in which Florida State is better now than they were a year ago, this is the one we keep coming back to. They've proven it up to now. We'll see if they can keep proving it. Now, you have to keep showing it every week, especially after setbacks. But in any of the previous setbacks, they showed up, and they showed up big, and they played hard the following week. That is where they're distinctly different from last year's team that shut it down. And I think that is direct evidence that there are, I think, significant changes being made in that locker room. There's headway for Willie and his staff in changing the culture. It's not fast enough for our liking. It doesn't directly result in a whole bunch of dominant wins, but it does tell me that they have a little bit more what for upstairs, a little bit more mental toughness than the group did a year ago, and that's because they're not divided. When you're not divided, when you're unified, you can continue to fight for one another because you care about the guy next to you, because you care about what happens to your brothers who you're working with every day to get this thing turned around, and I think they are. Now, do I think they're on the path to greatness anytime soon? Oh, God, no. And do I think they're always well coached? No, I don't. I've been ripping Harlan Barnett for, a better part of a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would fire Harlan. I don't know if Willie's going to make it this time next year. We'll see. But that's still up in the air. The rest of this season is a bit of a referendum on that, so we'll see. But the other part of what I said, I do think is true. I do think that's the area where he's made the most significant impact is in that locker room with these kids and getting them to buy in. I think that has happened. We're seeing evidence of it and how hard they play. Do not mistake being completely outclassed and overwhelmed by Clemson for quit. And it's an unfair thing to levy upon a kid either, too. I'll say that. Because you don't throw around quit without there being serious ramifications. I mean, that's a serious thing. You can't just throw that out there at a competitor. Getting beat down and getting thoroughly outclassed doesn't mean you quit. They didn't quit.
I agree with what you're saying, but when you sign IOUs in 2016 for effort, and then last year your head coach after the Clemson game says we had guys quit,
right?
I think that's the problem here is, as fans, we're almost conditioned to expect at some point that our players are going to quit.
Yeah, but they didn't. And, you're watching stuff here in the second half that proves it. I mean, they're not a good team, and Clemson is a real good team, maybe the best team, one of the best 3 or 4 teams in the country. You're not physically able to compete. You're outclassed in every way, shape, or form, and so you got beat down, but you didn't lay down. And I think that's what gets you at least excited, perhaps to some degree, as much as you can be excited about a 500 team, for the game on Saturday on the road against Wake Forest, because it's an opportunity to bounce back. And I do think it's an opportunity to start a win streak. Needless to say, if I'm going to lay all that out there in front of you, if you go out there and lay an egg Saturday, we got real problems. Then I'm worried. Then I'm thinking, okay, it's off the rails. We may have a lot of what we saw a year ago, and then all of a sudden it changes the tenor of the conversation, to say the least. But let's wait and see. Let's see what happens Saturday. It's a big game. Don't go blow it. You could lose, and we may be having a frustrated conversation on Monday, but it would not be tainted with talk of a locker room divided and quit. It would just be that game has to be like 42-38 or something, and you fall because you're just not good enough on defense, and then you'll get to hear me echo my sentiments from each of the past however many weeks saying we need to fire our defense coordinator.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. Because this team has been hallmarked by bouncing back when we've waited for them to just
quit.
Pack it in. Waited for them to quit because we're way too used to it. I mean, more than we could talk about program expectations and how Florida State is historically one of the elite programs, and where are we operating in a place that's completely foreign to us.
No, I could just hear my own comments, and maybe that's arrogant. I don't mean it to be, but it's been a part of this show. It's what are we doing here? Yeah.
But against the expectations of any program in Power 5 and in football, we've seen way too much quitting. And I think that's where we're a little bit burned and sensitive to it. But I agree with you. This team hasn't. It's just if the fans, if they use that as a word a little bit more frequently,
you're forgiving.
I'm more forgiving because we've seen it twice in 3 seasons. And that's really unbelievable.
I just know that is about the worst thing you can be labeled as a competitor, as an athlete, as somebody playing organized sports. You can be labeled as not good enough. You can be described as being poor for what you do at your position. You can all those things. You could be you can be a slow running back, or whatever you want to say about kids. But when you label somebody as a quitter, that is the ultimate indictment of character. And so I don't throw it around loosely, and I really look for the evidence, because I would never play a guy who quit. That Willie kind of commented on that last year, like you just alluded to. Well, if you identify that on tape, if you identify real quit, I would never play a kid who quit. We would be done here. So I just don't think we should throw it around loosey-goosey. Not that you did, but there's some people online talking about quitting. I'm like,
I don't think they will on Saturday, but boy, if it was a coin flip with good conditions, now what is it? I mean,
that's same thing. I don't know that it's appreciably different. It's just the score totals will come down, I think.
The randomness of it, though. It's an oblong ball, man.
Makes you nervous.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Southwood Golf Club is ready to make you a member. 850-942-4653.
Win an ultimate fan cave experience. Text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win a $1,500 prize giveaway from Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales. Win a 50-inch flat screen TV, refrigerator for your ice-cold Bud Light, and more. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit TriEagleSales.com. Bud Light, famous among friends. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. A message from local beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales.
When was the last time you experienced something for the first time? On Thursday, October 17th from 6 to 10 p.m., Jerry's Famous Cigar Shop is hosting another exclusive cigar tasting event featuring Balmoral cigars. Meet their national sales director while enjoying music, craft beers, and delicious cigars. You'll also get special event deals on all Balmoral cigars. Don't miss the Jerry's Cigar Shop Balmoral Cigars event on Thursday, October 17th from 6 to 10 p.m. Find out more at jerrycigarshop.com.
Can you hear it? There's no better tradition in all of sports than 80,000 Knowles doing the war chant. Now is your chance to be a part of that. Single game tickets are on sale now as the Knowles welcome in Syracuse on October 26th for homecoming, and then Miami on November 2nd. Don't get left out of the best tradition in all of sports.
Get your tickets by calling 888-FSU-KNOWL to see Florida State football take on Syracuse and Miami.
Or visit Seminoles.com today.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
The new $5 million Luck Scratch-Off is here. To find one, there's a special call. It goes like this. Luck, 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 luck. Luck, 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 luck. If you do it long enough and loud enough, someone is bound to get you one. in order to make it stop.
The new $5 million Luck Scratch-Off with more than $329 million in cash prizes. Find yours today. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket.
Claim it.
Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the social agreement. You and a buddy can split one order of wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Escúchame y Disidán Levantación ESPN Radio.
Alex Rodriguez has gone to his Twitter account. He is in a fine suit. He is carrying a fine bag. He has, I'm sure, a perfectly manicured left hand in the pocket of his pants. He looks regal as hell standing in the street of New York City with very expensive sunglasses, and this is what he writes on Twitter. It's not enough just to want it. Go and get it. Don't wait on an opportunity. Create one. Don't hope today is your lucky day. Make it your lucky day. Step up to the plate, lean in, and go for it. Hashtag make it happen.
I just got goosebumps. I love that guy.
That is not helpful. Where are the steroids in that?
Don't wait for them to come to you. Go get them.
That's right. Don't wait for the steroids to show up at your door. Go get them.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
It spins around. You recognize this sound? Well, it's the underground. You know that we're down with what you like. With what you like.
Pitt Syracuse under 51.5. Redemption Thursday wagers. Here we go. Give me the Noles, the mighty Noles on the road against Wake Forest +2. Let's go. Let's go, Florida State. Get it together. Let's go get a win on the road.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
We can try to incorporate every cliche under the sun about road games. It's a business trip. Boise State -7 against BYU on the road. It's a business trip. Let's get it done, Boise. Let's go. Oklahoma State -4 hosting Baylor. Inhospitable. Let's go, Oklahoma State. Let's make T. Boone Pickens proud.
Another big touchdown for the Cowboys.
Big weekend for the Cowboys.
That's right.
Virginia Tech +3.5 against North Carolina. Get you some. Let's go, Va-Tech. I can tell by the look on your face we may have to revisit this. Penn State -8.5 against Michigan. The dominant Nittany Lion defense in a whiteout. College game day is there. Another humiliating defeat for Mr. Harbaugh while at Michigan. He's used to it by now. Gets easier to take. -8.5. Miami, the Canes. Here we are. All right, I'll be there. No, I won't. I will not be there. I will be there in spirit, given the 18. Let's go, Canes, -18 against Georgia Tech.
Boy,
Who's
you'll
terrible.
be there in spirit? Boy.
Yeah, well, if I were down in Miami, I would be getting some delicious Los Tacos, baby, and I would be drinking a margarita. I'd be seeing my dear friend Matt Britton, his lovely wife Kelly, and their beautiful children. We'd have a big time down in Miami as they house Georgia Tech.
Your attendance would increase the overall figure by 8%.
Yeah, it would be quite, yeah. Kansas City versus Denver tonight. We're going to go with the under 49.5. Low scoring, few possessions. Denver's running the ball. They lose the game, but they keep the score down. 49.5 under. The hook matters there. New England -9.5 against the Jets on Monday night. Give me the Patriots. They just dominate everybody. I just went Joe Public there and did it. Those are my 10 wagers. I may entertain some more as the show goes on.
So 5 games in a row, huh? This is the first of 5 in a row for the Noles.
Yeah, man, we're going to go on a little win streak here and get it rolling.
That's a real win streak, even if you're playing
legitimate
terrible competition. That's for real.
Well, by definition, if you're playing anybody in the ACC not named Clemson, it's terrible competition. So, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go win these games against bad teams. Let's be a better bad team than those bad teams.
Will you stay grounded, let's just say Monday of Florida week, right? And say,
I won't get
it
swept
doesn't change
away.
my opinion at all, folks. October 17th, I thought we were the same team as I think we are now. Will you stay grounded enough to know we just beat 5 bad teams, folks? Don't,
Yep.
Okay.
I will. Because we won't be able to block Florida.
Just seeing if you're taking the pledge, that's all.
I'll take the pledge. Now, things changed, Tom.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Wins and losses happen for a reason.
It's the pledge with a hedge.
It's the pledge with a hedge for good reason, though. What if Trask is out? What if, something happens? I reserve the right to say, hey.
For the picking of the Florida game, sure. Yeah, what if Felipe Franks comes back
Oh,
healthy?
I like us. Maybe we get a win there. Yeah.
But in terms of us, I mean, we're not materially changing. Outside of maybe Minshew playing well as a guard, I don't see how we're materially changing.
No, I don't think it's changing all that much. You brought up Florida, and we have a lot of listeners that are Gators. We have a lot of listeners that are Canes. We've got a lot of listeners that are Georgia Bulldogs. We got a lot out there. The show has grown over the years, wildly popular, huge ratings. We become regional, not just local. It's important, right, that we touch on some of the other games around the country. People value these, these looks, these insights into the rivals, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, I think it's interesting. I as much as I have sung the praises of Kyle Trask, who I think has been fearless, who's been very good, who's elevated Florida to a place they would not have been able to get to with sorry-ass Felipe Franks under center. And so now they got a real quarterback. I'm dismayed by this. I wish against Kentucky, not only had Kentucky made the field goal, which they should have, they would have won the game, but he misses the field goal. And in doing so, Florida gets a win, and they discover a quarterback all at the same time. In fact, we can blame Kentucky for an awful lot of Florida's success. Screw you, Mark Stoops. Get it together. You've allowed for Florida to come out here and look like a legitimate elite SEC team because you couldn't get it done, and you had it won.
He's had, 4 or 5 point-blank chances to beat Florida?
It's unbelievable.
Including the games he's won, of course. But he's had 4 or 5 chances since he took over that job.
Well, the games he's won is one. He won one against them. Yeah. So, yes, no, that's
the game he's won.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not plural.
The time he did it.
That one time, yes. No, it angers me because Florida, they got a reprieve there. But here, what a weird spot. We don't know if Ryan Helinski's going to play for South Carolina. That's a big deal. He's got the knee issue. But here's what I would tell you. If you go back and look at Florida, they struggled against good defensive line. Like, look at the Miami game. They struggled against Miami. Now, granted, that was phrased, but they struggled to block it, right? They struggled to block it against Kentucky a little bit. And obviously, that wasn't their problem against LSU. That was just the LSU offense.
Auburn wasn't they didn't play all that well offensively.
No. But this game, South Carolina is good on defense. This is a kind of interesting game.
Ooh, buddy. The Fighting Will Muschamp's?
They're 3-3.
If they beat Georgia and Florida back-to-back weeks, oh, my God.
He's going to take off his shirt.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
2475 Appalachie Parkway, right next to Earth Fair.
Experience Tallahassee's largest Oktoberfest celebration at the Pavilion in the center of Tallahassee on Friday, October 18th. Spend the night out with friends in a beer garden featuring festive beers and wines with unlimited refills, and enjoy traditional food and desserts while testing your skills in the interactive game station. All proceeds support local seniors with elder care services. Purchase tickets at the Pavilion box office or online at eldercarebigbend.org.
One of my favorite things about being a member at Orange Theory Fitness is the sense of community. Initially, after taking the tour and seeing the state-of-the-art equipment, I was intrigued. I became convinced even once I researched the science-backed technology track, coach-inspired workouts, all of that. But what I didn't count on was the support, the sense of camaraderie shown by the members and the coaches. You realize pretty quickly you're not alone. And when you're pushing yourself through barriers and attempting to be your personal best, you can use all the help you can get. And it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Times can be tough, but getting a late model car is easy at Champion Auto Sales. Champion Auto Sales can quickly approve you, no matter how bad your credit. Bankruptcy, repossessions, bad credit, no credit. Champion Auto Sales can have you riding today. Give them a call at 850-999-8395 or visit them on the web at championautofl.com. Their brand is quality and credit approval is guaranteed. Champion Auto Sales, 2754 West Tennessee Street across from TCC. Stop by today.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with the new arrivals from Cleveland Golf. Turbocharge your game with the new Cleveland Launcher HB Turbo Driver that delivers more speed for higher, longer, and straighter drives. And the Launcher HB Turbo Irons, which deliver maximum forgiveness, higher trajectory, and increased ball speed for more accurate and longer shots. And the Launcher UHX Irons deliver the perfect blend of distance and accuracy. Let us help you get custom fit for free today at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Come visit the new and exciting Hangar 38. This amazing place is for everyone listening right now. Practice your bowling skills, compete, and have fun. Whether you're a newbie, an all-star, or a beer frame champion, no matter how you roll, you'll find the best place to bowl is at Hangar 38. Hangar 38 is home to over 75 arcade games, so they're sure to have something for everyone. Zeppelin's at Hangar 38 is a premier full-service restaurant and sports bar, and it's also your place for birthday parties and company outings. Tallahassee, what are you waiting for? Come on out to Zeppelin's Hangar 38, 6668 Thomasville Road behind Walgreens.
Can you hear it? There's no better tradition in all of sports than 80,000 Knowles doing the war chant. Now is your chance to be a part of that. Single game tickets are on sale now as the Knowles welcome in Syracuse on October 26th for homecoming, and then Miami on November 2nd. Don't get left out of the best tradition in all of sports.
Get your tickets by calling 888-FSU-KNOLL to see Florida State football take on Syracuse and Miami.
Or visit Seminoles.com today.
Golick and Wingo.
Yes, they clearly upgraded their secondary by picking up Jalen Ramsey, but are they doing it at the expense of first-round picks that they seem to give away like candy? They took Jared Goff with the first pick in 2016. They will not have a next first-round pick until 2022. They have traded away 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. That is remarkable.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. After a rainout, the Yankees and Astros play Game 4 of the ALCS tonight in the Bronx. It'll be a repeat of the Game 1 starters. Masahiro Tanaka for New York, Zach Greinke for Houston. No word yet if Giancarlo Stanton will be available for the Yankees. He's got a sore quad. ESPN's Buster Olney.
If I were in the Yankee shoes, and I don't have access to all the medical information, but if I got that feeling that Stanton might not be available today or tomorrow, I'm at the point where I'd be like, you know what? Activating Mike Tauchman.
Buster Olney on the Baseball Tonight podcast. The Astros lead the series 2-1. The only game the Yankees won was with Tanaka on the mound. Our coverage of Game 4 starts 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL Week 7 kicks off tonight at Mile High. The 2-4 Broncos hosting the 4-2 Chiefs. Kansas City is in first place in the AFC West, but they've lost 2 games in a row. Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley says he'll play against the Patriots Monday night. He's been out since the season opener with a groin injury.
At Napa, get a 5-quart jug of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $26.99 and a $10 mail-in rebate. General States pricing. Sale prices do not include applicable state and local taxes or recycling fees. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished? Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Avenue in Tallahassee and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Online at ctf.nu.
You know, it is weird. You asked me a moment ago if I really thought this was the beginning of a win streak starting this weekend, and this is the game that I'm most worried about of all of the ones that are listed besides Miami, because we won't be able to block Miami either. Doesn't mean we won't win because their quarterbacks are terrible too. So there's a lot of, that's kind of a real true coin flip game. But if you can get this one, I do think it could be the start of a 5-game win streak, and I don't even think it's that unreasonable. But I hate that, and this is one of the many things that I hate whenever we talk about Florida State football these days. I hate that, it's also not unreasonable to think that they will lose Saturday and that you could lose 3 of the next 5. Certainly 2 of the next 5, because even if you do that, you're really not in line to have much of a season that you could hang your hat on and be proud of. I mean, 7-5 with this schedule, it's crap.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that this is critical. I don't think
it's
going to
game.
go – well, I mean, just the swing here, this next month and a half. Yesterday when I was talking about how I feel like Tampa's quarterback situation is much like Florida State's head coaching situation. Like October, November, those 2 months are going to tell you an awful lot about how the discussion goes in the offseason. I mean, Jameis has to have a really good finish to his season coming out of the bye, and Willie has to win the games he's supposed to because at some point you got to get a result here or there. You have to. I mean, you threw a couple away against Virginia and Boise.
Really should have won that Virginia game. Obviously should have won the Boise game. The unfortunate part about the Boise game is that your defense once again failed you miserably. And I always get stuck in this pattern where I think about what if Willie had gotten who he wanted? He didn't want Harlan Barnett. He had to settle for Harlan Barnett. He was hurried. The situation was odd. And he was unable to get Levitt to come with him because Oregon overpaid, and they're currently overpaying. They're paying him $1.8 million, whatever the hell they're paying him. So I mean, it's like you didn't get your guy. That also, if you want to make an argument against Willie, and there are easy ones to make, is why is it he couldn't get anybody to come with him? Anybody didn't buy into his vision and come with him, other than his close friends who needed jobs. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, for me, I have a hard time just saying, well, he's got to get his guy in here because you've had 2 years to work with Harlan. I mean, we're on the back half of year 2, but you get my point.
Well, he couldn't fire Harlan at the end of last year, even if he wanted to, because he was going to go out and fire his offense coordinator and get Kendall Briles. So it was like, you're piecemealing this thing together. It's sort of this, all right, well, we'll start with the offense, which was a nightmare last year, which again is really damning because that's his side of the ball. And
right, my side of the ball is the bigger fire to put out here.
Yeah, so I'm going to go do that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So you're going to give up the one thing it is that you do and farm that out to
All
somebody else.
All 3 phases were terrible. So let me fix, 1.5 at a time.
Yeah, well, so you went out and attempted to fix that one by bringing in Kendall Briles. Fine. Okay, listen, we applauded him for that. At least admitting to and owning the fact that offense was terrible was a wise move to go get somebody to try to help it out. You can only do so much with an offensive line that plays like this. Or is manned with the people that it is manned with. So there you go. You got that. And then now the next step would be to fix the defense. And I think that is in store. It's going to happen. I think they'll fire Harlan Barnett at the end of this year, and I think that they'll attempt to hire Jim Levitt. That will come at a steep price. But if that gets done, okay, now you got 2 coordinators that you probably feel pretty good about. There's nowhere else to turn at that point. Better have a real good season.
What I'd love to know, though, is were we chintzy about Levitt coming in as an analyst, or did Levitt really want to spend time with his mom? Because
No, I think he really did. I mean, I think the evidence after he said that is there. I mean, if you go to his social media accounts, you see he spent a lot of time with his mom. So I think he did. I mean, she's elderly, and I take him at his word in that. But I also think it's a hell of a gig where you're still getting paid by Oregon and you get a chance to still keep your feet in the game. You don't want to be away from the game too much, you know, out of sight, out of mind type thing. And if you want to be a head coach somewhere or you want to be a DC somewhere, I think it probably helps you to stay in the game in some capacity.
We're 100% sure that that we're allowed to have a new coach next year, right? Because David Kelly stayed off the field. It's not one of these things where they're going to be like, oh, nope, same situation. You got to choose one.
No, you're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, given the way the Travis J thing has gone, and Willie said today in his breakout interview that they don't expect to have Travis for the entirety of the season. Wayne from the Democrat asked him, is it still the exact same? Do you expect him back? Do you not? And he said, we don't expect him back this year. Well, how's that possible? Does the NCAA just hate us?
No.
Because his teammate got cleared for the same course at a different school.
I don't know enough about the situation. I don't know what the transcript says. I don't know what he did or didn't do when he was in school prior to being here, and what he did in high school. I can't, not in an educated fashion, speak on that. I have no idea. The NCAA is notoriously hypocritical. I don't know. Their standards seem to waver depending on who they're dealing with, but I don't know that it's some grand conspiracy against us. I do know that I would, at this point, venture a guess that we probably didn't do all we needed to do to help ourselves in that matter because we're not too terribly organized.
Well, and that's the point that I'm arriving at here with the Kelly question is we're sure, right? Because he's still listed.
Yeah, I think that one has been resolved.
We're good. Did we just sign an affidavit that he didn't coach anybody during any practices and we're good to go? I mean, I just wonder how that works.
No, I think we're good to go. I think that one has been solidified. I think we're all right.
Okay. A lot of messes.
Well, it's a lot of wins you got to garner here to help offset the kinds of things we describe on a regular basis.
Well, to what end, though? That's the question. I mean, if you were putting a money line down on Kendall and Clements being here next year,
I think they'll both be here next year.
Minus 200, minus 500? You think it's like a sure bet that they're going to be here, or do you think it's a pretty good bet that they're going to be here?
Yeah, but what about this? Well, I would need to know what kind of head coaching job or job period that Kendall wants.
Would he want a different coordinator's job just to get the hell out of here? I mean, I'm just putting things out there. You think he wants to be here at the end of the year? I hope so. Let's say that we don't turn out a 5-game winning streak.
Well, my question to you would be, okay, so what has he done to this point this year that would have teams clamoring to hire him?
You'd look at the larger resume than you would this specific year.
Sure.
And you see the pressure rate in the offensive line. You'd see that I'm sure they have their own grades, but the ones that we get to consume, I saw the stat that came out that Juwan Williams and Abdul Bella
is the worst.
They're two of the 3 worst tackles in all of college football.
I didn't need to see that stat to know that, but you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would look at that, I guess. I mean, you would look at the helpless, hopeless nature of the Clemson game. At the end of the year, we'll see what kind of fight Florida State puts up against another good defense in Florida. But if at the end of the season you don't move the ball against any team that's considered good.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, it's just what I'm looking at. Okay, so the Clemson path is Dabo finds good coordinators and then they stick for the most part.
Well, yeah, right. He took a pay cut and he overpaid to bring in Chad Morris originally and obviously Brent Venables he brought in from Oklahoma. Probably the most important hire of his career, to say the least.
Yeah, and they stuck around, though. And my question is, to what end are we – let's just say Kendall and Clements are here for another year, and we know that by looking at the schedule and what we're losing and how quickly you can flip an offensive line, the expectation for next year is what? Another 7 or 8 wins, somewhere in there? Because the schedule won't be as easy. It can't be, even with this ACC being terrible. You got West Virginia to open the year. You got Boise on the road. It's going to be a tough schedule again, tough road to hoe.
I don't. If you're asking me if I think they're going to be a good football team next year, no, I don't. Can they be better than they are this year, just as they're better this year than they were last year? Yes, and growth is the key here.
So my question is with Kendall and Clements, what do you think? They're here 3 years then? 4? They're not going to stick, right? I mean, that would be breaking a track record if they were going to be here, let's say, 5 years from now.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to stick. I think that their intentions, well, at least Kendall's, were kind of laid bare there early on when he talked about looking at the schedule.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think he's a football mercenary who wants to be a head coach someday. Can't blame him for his ambition. Hopefully we can use each other in the right way, right? We get the best of him, and he gives us an opportunity to win some games we wouldn't otherwise win, and then he gets his chance to move on. I would think he'll be here next year, almost for certain. I mean, I would have to speculate in terms of what the relationship is between he and Willie. That I don't know. And, that is something that you can look into certainly as the season wears on and we get into the off season. It will be interesting to find out what that is like. I don't know right now.
I just feel like it's beyond the obvious product on the field on Saturdays. Any team that rebuilds by definition has a bad product that they've got to recruit over and recruit beyond. Mm-hmm. But it's so easy, even beyond the stuff on the field, to say, listen, if you like Kendall, he's not going to be there. If you like Randy as an offensive line coach, he's not going to be there. It's so easy to negatively recruit against us and say that the turnover is coming. So you better really like Willie, because if you don't, these guys, these coordinators, it's not Harlan, it's not Kendall, it's not Clements. When you're starting in 2022, these guys aren't going to be there.
That's the way I would recruit against Florida State. I'd also throw on the tape of games that we've played against teams that are good. So you'd be looking at the tape of the Notre Dame game. You'd be looking at the tape of the Clemson game, both of them. You'd be looking at the tape of the Florida game from a year ago, and then whatever it looks like this year. You'd be looking at, basically anybody who was any good at all, you'd be looking at the tape, and I'd say, well, that's what they are. And, oh, by the way, we're not even real certain where they're going. Yeah, right now Florida State is in a bind, is in a tough spot. And until they get better linemen and start winning some football games that create the momentum to allow you to counter that negative approach to recruiting, this is the reality of our situation. And I feel like we're wallowing in it, right? We're just marinating in this suck. And it's tough to find a path out. But the path out is to go on this 5-game win streak, create momentum, get people believing things are turning the corner, begin to have kids trust the vision and say yes, because he's recruiting really well. If you're just looking at verbal commitments, Florida State's recruiting exceptionally well given the product on the field. So already his prowess as a recruiter is being seen. Now imagine winning 5 straight games. What could happen then?
Right.
So that's where we're at now. It's a game-to-game, hold your breath. Come on, let's get this thing going. We're sloshing around face down in the muck right now, but you win 5 straight games, maybe you're on a hop.
Yeah, if you look at the linebacker recruiting, you give him an A+. If you look at offensive line recruiting since he's been here, it's an F-.
Well, if you look at quarterback recruiting since he's been here, it's an
F-.
F-. That's the bigger problem.
Right.
I mean, you got to be able to bring in a quarterback.
It's great that we flipped linebackers this year. Don't get me wrong. So we're addressing a need.
That's a big one.
Are we going to get anything more than DBs and position players?
We've got 3 offensive linemen right now. I think they probably will once again, if they're smart, raid the grad transfer market as well as the transfer portal and JC route. I think that's what they'll do and try to, once again, kind of piece it together until you can get some of these kids. There's a couple of guys already on the roster that are going the natural course of recruiting for the position, meaning they said, yes, they're undersized, they got to go a little bit bigger, go a little bit stronger, be in the system a little bit longer, then start as juniors. A couple guys like that exist within this group. So on your current roster, you have a couple guys that you feel pretty good about moving forward. You already feel good about Dante Lucas. So now you get me a JUCO transfer and a grad transfer, and all of a sudden it's a different looking offensive line next year. It's not an elite offensive line by any stretch, but you're going from pits of the earth, putrid, to butt-ass average to average. That's what we're trying to get to. So I think we're just a notch below butt-ass average now to bad. No, we're pretty ass sorry. You're right.
Yeah. These last 2 games have borne that out.
Yeah. All right, so maybe next year you're butt-ass average.
And you know what? In 2017, I guess it was, the 2017 season, that was the Auden Tate catch when he had the
the shoulder
apparatus on. Picking up a James Blackman. Gavin made a couple of big drops in that game. 17.5 tackles for loss that time we were up at Wake Forest. So we are not averse to playing bad football on the offensive line up there.
That was a great catch. Oh, my God.
You remember that?
Yeah.
17.5. Good Lord. Better bring your A game. in order to keep it under 12 this weekend.
I think it won't be pretty. I think we'll be having a great time at Hangar 38.
Yes, we will.
And I think we'll be toasting at the end of the night a victory, a narrow, hard-fought victory, and a start to a 5-game win streak, buddy. That's what I think. There you go.
It's the right way to think.
I don't know if it is or it isn't. I legitimately think it or I wouldn't say it. I'm not just saying it, putting it out there in the world, hoping that I speak it into being. I actually think there's some matchups here that help us. I think that Florida State, when you look at Wake and you look at advanced analytics, they give up big plays. Florida State, the entirety of the offense is built around big plays. They don't drive. Florida State doesn't put together long drives. They put together big plays. So Wake likes to give up big plays, and we're capable of big plays. All right? Check. I like it. Wake Forest has done a lot of attacking between the tackles at the mesh point there. I actually think that's the one area of our defense I feel pretty good about is what's happening between the tackles. Not outside the tackles, but between the tackles. So you shut that down, okay, all right, suddenly feel better about getting a few stops in this game. I question whether or not we'll be able to block it up, especially on standard downs, especially if we slow it down. I don't think we're going to be able to run the football effectively, which is a hindrance, obviously, to victory. So I think that, we have our own fair share of problems. I think of this game as fairly even, but we have the better, more dynamic overall. Now, let me say this. Wake has two very good receivers.
Surratt's for real, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Two very, very good receivers that I'm worried about. But they're probably playing their backup quarterback, who we saw a year ago, so we know what he is. Mm-hmm. And then, B, I think we have a greater collection of athletes. And in due time, if this is a high-possession game, I think we win.
Well, and you're focusing on the correct conversation. There are two. There's the one of the now, which is this is a nice little sequence for us in the schedule where we can rack up some wins. I guess what the last 2 weeks have done for me is I'm looking at the way out, the path back up to being able to compete with the Clemson when Lawrence is gone.
Oh, so that's not next year because he's back.
Right, exactly. But it just, who wants to come here? So it has to be Levitt as your defensive coordinator because who are you recruiting to come here? Unless it's another guy who wants to, 12 months and then I can go somewhere else. That's the tough part for the long-term conversation. Short term, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're looking at the schedule, rack up some wins and see if you could fool some 17 and 18-year-olds into thinking it's something more than it is.
They're the easiest people on earth to fool besides 3-year-olds. You can absolutely fool their ass.
So a 13-year-old's more skeptical than a 17 or 18-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the 17-year-old's more dangerous. He believes he knows everything.
Right. And he goes to whatever the hell the college hangouts are now. I would say the Tennessee Strip. But when they come visit Tallahassee, they say, I could do this.
Well, there's a distinct advantage Florida State has in recruiting with that very thing. I mean, the first time you ever step foot on Florida State's campus as a male, especially if you do it at springtime, my goodness gracious.
The old sundress season.
Oh, nothing better.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Beers, and plush leather seating. Even if the Seminoles lose, you're still a winner at Jerry's Cigar Shop. And don't forget to join us for the Balmore Cigar Tasting event on October 17th, featuring event-only deals including the highly anticipated Paso Doble. Jerry's Cigar Shop is your game day watch party headquarters. Find all the deals at jerrycigarshop.com.
Win an ultimate fan cave experience. Text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win a $1,500 prize giveaway from Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales. Win a 50-inch flat screen TV, refrigerator for your ice-cold Bud Light, and more. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit TriEagleSales.com. Bud Light, famous among friends. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. A message from local beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales.
At Trico, we know a thing or two about building things that last. We've spent the past 100 years focused on innovation, engineering, and manufacturing wiper blades designed for safety and reliability when you need it most. Which brings us to today. Introducing Trico's newest blade, Trico Max. 100% made in the USA, and the only wiper blades built to last 3 times longer than average wiper blades. Switch to Trico Max today. Available exclusively at Advance Auto Parts stores.
Oh yes, you've thought about it, but now it's time to enjoy the moss-drenched live oak, rolling hills, and pristine greens of Southwood Golf Club. Our friends at Southwood Golf Club offer individual, family, and student memberships, and now offer the all-in membership. That's right, never pay a card fee when you play. Don't forget, at Southwood Golf Club, it's not just about the golf. Hit the clubhouse for brunch, or maybe enjoy trivia night, live music, happy hour, and all-you-can-eat night specials, too. For membership information or to join right now, just call 850-942-4653. Southwood Golf Club is ready to make you a member. 850-942-4653.
Xfinity delivers the fastest internet, the most Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home, and the most Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide. Only from Xfinity. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today to experience all Xfinity has to offer.
Come visit the new and exciting Hangar 38. This amazing place is for everyone listening right now. Practice your bowling skills, compete, and have fun. Whether you're a newbie, an all-star, or a beer frame champion, no matter how you roll, you'll find the best place to bowl is at Hangar 38. Hangar 38 is home to over 75 arcade games, so they're sure to have something for everyone. Zeppelin's at Hangar 38 is a premier full-service restaurant and sports bar, and it's also your place for birthday parties and company outings. Tallahassee, what are you waiting for? Come on out to Zeppelin's Hangar 38, 6668 Thomasville Road behind Walgreens.
It may technically be autumn, but DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool and Fastener are running out a sizzling hot sale. Cordless deals that can't be beat. If you buy 2 select tools, get a dual 5-amp starter kit free. If you want to go bigger and better, buy a 2-piece premium brushless hammer drill impact kit, and you can pick a select free bare tool and get a 3rd 5-amp battery free. That's 3 tools, 3 5-amp batteries. Or buy a 3-speed brushless impact kit and get a 2nd impact kit for free. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, with the pros and serious do-it-yourselfer shop. Tallahassee location open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Rattler Review, hosted by the Tallahassee Democrats' Rory Chirac, every Friday at 6 p.m. right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee Sports Monster. Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. After a rainout, the Yankees and Astros play Game 4 of the ALCS tonight in the Bronx. It'll be a repeat of the Game 1 starters. Masahiro Tanaka for New York, Zach Greinke for Houston. No word yet if Giancarlo Stanton will be available for the Yankees. He's got a sore quad. ESPN's Buster Olney.
If I were in the Yankee shoes, and I don't have access to all the medical information, but if I got that feeling that Stanton might not be available today or tomorrow, I'm at the point where I'd be like, you know what? Activating Mike Talkman.
Buster Olney on the Baseball Tonight podcast. The Astros lead the series 2-1. The only game the Yankees won was with Tanaka on the mound. Our coverage of Game 4 starts 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. NFL Week 7 kicks off tonight at Mile High. The 2-4 Broncos hosting the 4-2 Chiefs. Kansas City is in first place in the AFC West, but they've lost 2 games in a row. Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley says he'll play against the Patriots Monday night. He's been out since the season opener with a groin injury.
At Napa, get a 5-quart jug of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $26.99 and a $10 mail-in rebate. General States pricing. Sale prices do not include applicable state and local taxes or recycling fees. Offer ends 10/31/19.
broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished? Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Avenue in Tallahassee and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Online at ctf.nu.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello, thanks for joining us. Hope you're well. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. Wake Forest averaging nearly 40 points a game, 39.7 on the season. They have lit up the scoreboard. You mentioned Sage Surratt last hour, Tom. He's a beast. But so is Scotty Washington at 6'5", 225 pounds. And those two individuals concern me greatly. It's a problem. Jamie Newman, don't know if he's going to start for them. Injured shoulder. We shall see. Sam Hartman would get the start if it's not Newman. He's played plenty, so it's not a huge setback for them. But that said, even though I started, I think, 10 games for them a year ago, he's not nearly as mobile and dynamic with his legs as Jamie Newman is. So Newman brings a different element to the offense for Wake than does Hartman, hence the reason Hartman didn't win the job this year. But either way, and a very, very experienced player, certainly capable of getting the ball out to Washington and Surratt. And our corners have proven time and again they're not capable of covering guys like Washington and Surratt or players who are half as good. So you have a real concern there, and that's why, at least on the surface, unless weather drastically changes this, and it looks like it might have a significant impact, I thought this would be a big-time score fest. I thought this would be a big number. You're talking about two receivers for Wake Forest that have over 1,200 receiving yards combined at this early stage of the season. 16 touchdowns between these two cats. It's been unbelievable. We were doing the War Chant report earlier this week, and Gene and I were talking, and if you take Tamori and Terry, and unfortunately now you have to include, I guess, DJ Matthews in that instead of Keyshawn Helton, but if you were to take Tamori and Terry and DJ Matthews, they've combined for 630 yards and 6 touchdowns, for example, compared to Wake's combo of 1,200-plus yards and 16 touchdowns. So it's been a special group for Wake Forest.
Yeah, this could be the biggest game for Jeff Bowden of the season because you could watch Tamori and Terry in space. You could watch these two guys in space. But the rain, it might curb that
it's
game
raining.
plan just a little bit.
Yeah, man, you're harkening back to the Miami game. It rained. The Rainbow offense was undone
That's right.
because of the rain. And I remember that answer. That was awesome. That was one of my favorite answers of all time. What happened to the Rainbow offense? Well, it was raining.
And on the other side of the football, then our quarterback situation, we'll find out on Saturday. Media asked, is James starting? Find out on Saturday. You're going to go with two quarterbacks? We'll find out on Saturday.
I don't care. Neither of them are great. They're kind of similar in their deficiencies. And, I just want to see somebody run the offense with a measure of consistency.
That leads me to believe it's either a two-quarterback system or Hornibrook is playing the whole game. The reason I say that, Willie was adamant for weeks leading up to
that if James were healthy, he'd start.
Correct.
And now that he's not, meaning adamant, you think we've gone another direction. I wouldn't be surprised if we did. The film was not beneficial to James last week. It's a shame because he's better than he played, but he didn't play well. And he's not great, but he's better than that. And I don't know if he's shook. I do know that Helton was one of his better friends on the team, and that the numbers aren't pretty after he went down. Who knows? There's a lot of things to consider.
Well, if you're James, And, the message is, if you're healthy, you're the starter to, well, we'll find out on Saturday, and you're healthy.
Yeah, but if you already know behind closed doors, you don't care. But if you don't, that would be weird. I mean, whoever's starting knows that. I mean, they know they're starting.
Well, the only thing I'd say is they wanted to carry the battle out through Thursday practice. If they were actually not decided yet, and they told the guys, listen, Monday through Thursday, you're battling for the job. We'll let you know. But we're not going to give any inkling to it. We're going to do 50-50 reps. And every practice is important, and you will have earned the job by Saturday, then you could still, in good conscience, say, we'll find out on Saturday because we got to see how these guys do in a given week.
I think by now we know who the hell they are. I don't know what you're going to learn, what kind of revelation is going to be found this week in practice that you haven't learned prior to now. You had a bye week the week before the Clemson game. You had all kinds of times to look at this stuff, and we've seen plenty of both.
I'd still just play 2. I get it that it reaches a fever pitch and you see what happened to James on Saturday at Clemson, but that's such a unique atmosphere compared to what we're going to see the rest of the year. I mean, Florida's a different animal. I get it, but these next 5 games, that 2-quarterback system was okay by me because neither are great, and one of them does bring something a little bit different to the table in that he can get the ball down the field and push it down the field.
If you think James is going to go back to being what he was and be a little bit more consistent, than he was certainly last week. He was terrible last week. Then, okay, yeah, I get that because you want to be able to challenge a defense to cover the whole field, and you don't do that with Hornibrook. But
Alex was god-awful last week, too. I mean,
without question.
If you want to compare who was worse, I get it. But, I mean, remember Alex had to play by the sideline where he gets hit and he fumbles the ball sideways out of bounds.
Well, and he had a touchdown that he throws an interception on. And,
right.
He was terrible. I don't know, man. Neither one of those guys look real good right about now. I just think that playing behind that offensive line has probably stripped them of confidence. Here's the thing. You thought that with Hornibrook, I guess the plus was early on when he came in, he seemed to run the offense a little bit more efficiently. And so you thought, okay, well, there's that is, right? He makes sound decisions. Pre-snap seems to be a little bit better. He's not double clutching like we see James do all the time. We're getting the ball out in rhythm. All right, if he's going to do that, then maybe you can live with the lack of arm strength and predictably the passing lane's getting smaller or whatever because we're going to scheme some things open and he's just got to make those throws and he's got to be able to read it pre-snap. But then, he regressed. The more he played, the worse he got. Did Alex Hornibrook, and James has gotten progressively worse. These 2 quarterbacks are getting worse right now, and it could just very well be that, hey, listen, the Clemson matchup was one that was overwhelming. These guys rat-trapped, and we'll see a better version of both this weekend. I don't know.
If you're going to make the argument for Hornibrook, you'd say, well, listen, we weren't able to run the ball, period, against NC State, so what is he supposed to do? What would anybody do in that situation? So if you can't run the ball, you can't get the tempo that you want, and so if you can't get the tempo that you want, then the wide-open receivers thing doesn't happen nearly as often.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to make the argument against James, this is just a full argument, saying that Hornibrook is the guy if you're on like a debate panel. The way he finished at Virginia, you could tell that the moment got a little bit big for James. And then the way he played at Clemson, you've got 2 bits of evidence that tell you, okay, the outside world can impact his poise and the decisions he makes, the way he sees the field, and his ability to hit open receivers. So you have evidence in that regard that you probably didn't have before the Virginia game that he's flappable. If unflappable is a word, then he must be flappable.
Yeah, well, that's my greatest concern is how he has been a kid that has been very emotional. And, you don't want your quarterback. This was a criticism of Jameis before, that he was emotional, too emotional. Got to calm down, man. I need you to be a little bit more even keel. And James has not been even keel at all. And we love passion, but I need my quarterback to have a little less of it, or at least outwardly have less of it, and more in control. Processing things very analytically. Let's sit here and think about what we're doing and what has to be done on this next play instead of being emotional, because he gets really down, and it comes from a great place. He gets really down when he feels like he's failing his teammates. He loves this program. He loves those teammates, most importantly. He wants so much to be a leader, so much to be the guy that gets this thing moving in the right direction. I can never fault him for any of those things, but sometimes it does feel like he's trying too hard to make it happen. And that can be tough. If you can't get him to calm down or you can't diffuse that situation, then you have no choice but to go to Alex Hornibrook. who's played a ton of college football games, is used to not having to be the man because he never could. So he ran an offense at Wisconsin where they were going to run the ball with an elite running back behind an elite offensive line, and they were going to ask him to make minimal amounts of plays each week. He wasn't going to be the reason they won games. So he's used to being a game manager, and I think that part of that is maturity, part of that is experience, part of that is being level-headed. So if you're going to get that guy, then fine. But he really does lack, significant arm strength. I mean, it is a problem.
Yeah, because if you get the middle of second quarter, and Wake Forest is able to do what NC State was, which is everybody's near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Well, then what are we doing here without at least the option to go back to James? I think we probably run some semblance of a two-quarterback system because you didn't declare. Willie had a chance today to say, here's our guy. Even if it was Alex, he could say, Alex is our guy moving forward. Because he didn't, I almost feel like it lends him the opportunity that if something isn't going right in the first quarter of this game on Saturday, he can just switch it up, play the hot hand.
Yeah, it's gamesmanship, and that's fine. I get it. You don't have to tell the opposing team who the hell you're starting. I mean, it could actually alter game plans defensively for your opponent. So I have no problem with him not announcing it. I have no problem with him having a real hard time deciding which guy it is because neither one has been all that impressive.
But if Cam Akers gets going, then both of these guys are wildly effective compared to when he's not going right.
Going to need that offensive line. Doesn't it always come back to that? These discussions always center around that group up front, which has led to so many sleepless nights and bitter disappointment.
Years worth.
Oh, buddy.
We're like the Titanic lady.
Oh, buddy. You got people, I can hear them. I can hear them in their homes across the country, donning the garnet and gold, going, how long is it going to take for us to have a line that I can be somewhat trusting in? I mean, it's just...
It's going to take at least another 2 or 3 years, I think, is the answer, right?
Well, it depends on if you're, how long until you're able to say we have a good offensive line.
One that you're willing to trust.
Yeah.
You don't have to love it, but you can trust that they are what they are for the right reasons.
Yeah, the funny thing about fans of football is that they never trust their offensive line, even when they have a good one, because their mistakes are the most glaring. When they have a breakdown on the offensive line, your quarterback gets killed or your running back is hit behind the line of scrimmage. So whenever that happens, immediately fans go, well, we can't block. But forgetting the other guys are on scholarship too.
The last time I marveled at our offensive line was the
13?
Oregon game. Game.
Oh, the massive holes.
We weren't man enough to take it that day.
Well, Dalvin's dropping the ball for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just
fumbles all over the place.
Oh, they just bounced it every which way.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Radio, Tallahassee Sports Monster.
Hardee's new Monster Roast Beef Sandwich is stacked with slow-cooked roast beef, slices of crispy applewood smoked bacon, all covered in layers of melted cheese. This tasty triple threat is kind of like an epic no-hands backflip on a wild Mustang while spearing a great white shark. How you got a wild horse out in the middle of the ocean isn't important. What's important is that the new Monster Roast Beef Combo with fries and a Dr. Pepper is only available at Hardee's.
Available for limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with the new fall arrivals from Mizuno. Discover layers of feel with the new MP20 range. The MP20 is the ultimate muscle back. The MP20 MMC uses multi-material construction for legendary feel and performance. And the MP20 HMB is a playable set of hollow, tungsten-enhanced irons for many skill levels. Let us help you get custom fit for free today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Times can be tough, but getting a late model car is easy at Champion Auto Sales. Champion Auto Sales can quickly approve you, no matter how bad your credit. Bankruptcy, repossessions, bad credit, no credit. Champion Auto Sales can have you riding today. Give them a call at 850-999-8395 or visit them on the web at championautofl.com. Their brand is quality and credit approval is guaranteed. Champion Auto Sales, 2754 West Tennessee Street across from TCC. Stop by today.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
Deciding whether or not to fix something that has worked well for a long time can be a tough choice. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barronneau Heating and Air, we'll help you decide on whether to repair your existing system or consider new energy-efficient options. Book your repair or service appointment online in under a minute at barronneauac.com. Florida license number CAC 1816186.
At Sport Clips Haircuts, we're on a mission to help our veterans with their education. In 2013, we established the VFW Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program. With the help of your generous donations, we've raised over $6 million and awarded more than 1,400 scholarships across the country. Visit Sport Clips today and help a hero. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate an additional $1 for every haircut we give. Help us continue this honorable mission.
It may technically be autumn, but DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool & Fastener are running out a sizzling hot sale. Cordless deals that can't be beat. If you buy 2 select tools, get a dual 5-amp starter kit free. If you want to go bigger and better, buy a 2-piece premium brushless hammer drill impact kit, and you can pick a select free bare tool and get a 3rd 5-amp battery free. That's 3 tools, 3 5-amp batteries. Or buy a 3-speed brushless impact kit and get a 2nd impact kit for free. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, where the pros and serious do-it-yourselfers shop. Tallahassee location open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Can you hear it? There's no better tradition in all of sports than 80,000 Noles doing the war chant. Now is your chance to be a part of that. Single game tickets are on sale now as the Noles welcome in Syracuse on October 26th for homecoming, and then Miami on November 2nd. Don't get left out of the best tradition in all of sports.
Get your tickets by calling 888-FSU-NOLE to see Florida State football take on Syracuse and Miami.
Or visit Seminoles.com today.
Golick and Wingo.
If LeBron James' chief complaint in this was, hey, Daryl Morey, who was not over in China, tweeting this while we were all going over there and we felt potentially compromised our safety, that was what we felt could have waited. If it compromised the safety of LeBron and others over there, that would be a pretty fair way to go about it, but it was the tact of saying uneducated and uninformed, because then the idea would be, and here's the area where I had the biggest sort of mental gap was, if you're saying Daryl Morey is uneducated or uninformed on this, then it would require you to know what educated or informed looked like on the issue for you to be the arbiter in that situation. And if LeBron James was going to say publicly, I don't know enough about the situation to comment, then I don't know how you, at the same time, you can turn around and say, but I know enough to know that you shouldn't comment. Yep. There seems to be a bit of cognitive dissonance there.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Most of this life's been a drag over high and lows like a blow in a pay-thrown title fight.
Question for at Jay Cameron Show. For the next 5 years, I give you either Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Dabo Swinney, and their staff. Who you taking, knowing any could leave during that time? Well, Saban's not leaving. He'll retire if he does anything. And so, you know, if you're worried about that, I don't know. I'm not. And that guy seems to be motivated by things that are difficult for us to understand. Most people, when they reach the mountaintop, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4, 5, and 6 times, and work as hard as that guy does, are able to stockpile enough satisfaction to satiate whatever competitive appetite they had, and then they walk away. He's got more money than he could ever imagine spending. He set up his family and his family's family and family and family and their families for the next however many centuries with the money he's made. So he's not motivated by that. I think he'll be there for 5 years. The answer is I'd take Nick Saban.
I think I'd take Dabo because Dabo has already done it. He's taken a program that was in dire straits as an interim and found a new path to get it done. And also, he kind of plays into the identity of the program. You know, Florida State fans, even with the successes of 29 straight and a championship in 2013, we prefer the history of the all-shucks head coach in Bobby Bowden. And Dabo kind of fits that mold. Whereas Alabama, Bear Bryant, Taskmaster, Nick, Taskmaster, that's kind of who they've been largely for the greatness. For us, I think Dabo would be a welcome return to a little bit like the Bowden years.
The reason I didn't say Dabo Swinney is because if Brent Venables leaves, they're not going to do what they're doing.
Does the question say they get their guys or they get...
Well, I guess I'm reading into it because I think Brent will leave at some point. I know his kid's there, but when his kid's gone, he's got to go. What are we doing?
He likes just being a coordinator.
Well, why don't you like being the head coach at Florida State University, Brent Venables? Let's go.
How about he could be the defensive coordinator here?
No. Wait, why is he going to make that lateral move? No.
I'm just, if we're speaking in, because he's not going to do that either.
Offer him the head coaching job at Florida State University, buddy.
He doesn't want to deal with the politics of it. That's the word.
What kind of man are you, Brent? Don't you want to test yourself in the truest sense? Can you be the ultimate? Can you lead? Can you lead a company? Or do you have to be an underling your whole life, huh, Brent?
Would you say that to Mickey?
Mickey, there's a complicated background there. No, it is. There's some things there, he was kind of promised some things that never happened. That's a different deal there.
Was he now?
He was, yeah. That's an unfortunate situation. Different set of circumstances. I'm telling you, with Brent.
There was a payoff coming, is what you're saying, perhaps, in the way of a promotion?
Yeah, that was supposed to happen. It never did. Well, the thought was he would take over someday when Bobby retired. Bobby had talked about wanting to get out at a certain time. That was the rumor. It never happened. It kept going. Of course, Coach Bowden also said if he ever lost 4 games, he would know it was time to pack it up. And then all he did was lose 4 games every year for a series of years.
I remember that talking point as a kid.
He dug his heels in. So, things change. You can't go wrong right now. There's no getting around it.
I feel like
as much as we've clowned Dabo Swinney, the truth of the matter is he altered his approach. He changed. Well, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. I take that back. He did not alter his approach. He was able to tweak it.
He altered his salary is what he did.
Which was smart. He brought in good people, and behind the scenes, he put together an organization and a culture that really, really did speak to an awful lot of people, not only the university and that community and its alumni and all of its boosters, but also the recruits. And that's a big deal, man. Being able to convince those kids of your vision is a big part of being a successful head coach. Whether you're a taskmaster and a red ass or really gregarious, affable, fun, whatever it might be, you've got to have kids who look at you, believe it, buy it. And I think the only way that happens is if you're genuine. And so as goofy as he can be and as goofy as he sometimes comes across, the truth is I think he played to being himself and didn't waver. And he gets a lot of credit from me for doing so. Because I was one of the ones who ripped him. I was one of the ones who made fun of him. I didn't think it was going to work out for him. And I was proven to be wrong. He was this close to not having it work out. Sometimes things work out in your favor. Something happens. You get a second chance or a third chance, and he did. The sadness I'll feel if Willie doesn't make it is that I think there is a path for him to be a successful head coach at Florida State. I don't know that he'll have enough success along the way to get that chance. And I might be one of the ones who are calling for his job because you only get so long. And you do have to, at some point, show me that things are turning the corner, that things are getting better. And so, I'm not as I don't think I'm as quick to be drastic as some in the fan base. But I'm losing, patience, and I'm certainly gaining in frustration on a week-to-week basis.
I think where Dabo, if you're just stacking him up and you're trying to launch something from this point moving forward, beyond the fact that he's younger, of course, which would be a help if you're trying to build something for 5 years, 10 years, whatever. is that he kind of speaks the language that relates more to the incoming generation. You know, they prefer the arm around the shoulder a little bit more. Now, that doesn't mean that staff is devoid of crazies. I mean, Brent is nuts. That's what Tanner Muse told us.
Yeah, Tanner Muse told us that, and Tanner Muse has played in that system and has been coached by Brent Venables. And you have to be able to be coached hard, as they say, if you're going to be on that side of the ball. But clearly, no matter how hard those individuals have been coached by Brent Venables, they love it because you had first-round draft picks come back for their senior season.
Right, exactly.
And they could have walked for millions of dollars, and they said no.
I think in terms of product that you're selling to the kids, Dabo's fits what the consumer is asking for a little bit more than Nick. If you're trying to build something from this point moving forward.
Yeah, I certainly see why you chose it. I know as a not only a taskmaster and a program builder, but also as a strategist, I know Nick Saban is elite.
So, okay, with Clemson's performance this past weekend and Lawrence waking up against us, looking more healthy, whatever it is, it's probably a combination of health and focus.
Mm-hmm.
Bama, Clemson, right now, neutral field. Who you got?
Clemson.
I think so, too.
I think so, yeah. Because they'll defend better.
Jesus. I mean, if you're Alabama, I mean, think about that, though. If you're
There's
Alabama.
a lot of season to play, though. There's a lot of season to play. Let's wait and see. Clemson's not as good as they were a year ago. But I think they're good. They're real good, and I think they're about to take off.
Clemson, LSU, neutral field.
What a fun game that is, man. You know, an interesting discussion and talking point right now is how we came into the season looking at Tua and how the Dolphins were tanked for Tua and that whole situation. The first blowback to that was we all said, well, you're tanking for the wrong guy because if you wait just one more year, you got almost a surefire thing as you're going to get coming out in the draft. Truth is, there is no such thing as a surefire thing coming out in the draft at that position. But you're trying to minimize risk, and so I think that Trevor allows for you to minimize more risk. That said, there's a new sheriff in town. A lot of NFL scouts and a lot of people who write about the projected draft choices coming up say Joe Burrow is going to be your pick. And isn't that interesting? Because none of us were saying that before the season.
Well, and he's got the size to do something, too, at the NFL level. Big,
strong guy, makes all the throws. That offense is humming. And all of a sudden, he is in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy. And his numbers are unbelievable.
It's kind of funny. Lincoln Riley was given no consideration in that conversation, and I think that's the right answer, that he deserves no consideration. You got to rise up and win it. You got to win the whole thing.
Boy, but he does put together year in and year out unbelievable offenses. There's no doubt. I mean, if you're going to ask me to hire an offensive coordinator, there's my guy. I'm bringing him in. He has certainly, seamlessly emerged as the head coach at OU at such a young age. I mean, that transition from Stoops to him could not have gone any better.
Good job, Bob, in that regard.
I mean, isn't that amazing? Yeah, they'll be forever indebted. Thank you, Bob. We didn't know we had this boy genius over here that you were willing to hand the reins over to.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
You can use all the help you can get, and it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature Which, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5. As sports fans, we all know this is the best time of the year, and the best places to catch all the action are at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and 7th Hill Tap Room. If you'd like a laid-back atmosphere, the 7th Hill Tap Room is your spot. 24 craft brew taps, plus wine options as well. And when you want to watch the pros, enjoy half off all craft drafts all day on Sundays. So, whether you're feeling the upstairs at the Corner Pocket or lounging down at the 7th Hill Tap Room, your game day is always covered. 2475 Appalachia Parkway, right next to Earth Fair. The 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachia Parkway is Tallahassee's premier location to try out the best craft brews from the state of Florida. With 14 self-service taps activated by cutting-edge technology, you can try as little or as much as you like from their full menu. The 7th Hill is a proud home of international soccer, opening early for every Arsenal game. They're also open by request for your favorite club, too. Whether it's a happy hour deal, Sunday brunch with $3 mimosas and a food truck, or time to catch up with friends over a board game, darts, or shuffleboard, Tallahassee's premier spot to enjoy local and Florida craft brews is the 7th Hill Tap Room. 2475 Appalachia Parkway, right underneath the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Experience Tallahassee's largest Oktoberfest celebration at the Pavilion in the center of Tallahassee on Friday, October 18th. Spend the night out with friends in a beer garden featuring festive beers and wines with unlimited refills, and enjoy traditional food and desserts while testing your skills in the interactive game station. All proceeds support local seniors with elder care services. Purchase tickets at the Pavilion box office or online at eldercarebigbend.org.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the Jeep headquarters of America. We've purchased over 100 Jeep Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120, on sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text TAP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text TAP to 42424 right now. Text TAP to 42424. That's TAP to 42424.
You know who thinks all wiper blades are created equal? People who've never been stuck with bad ones. Not you. You know what driving with average wiper blades is really like. Worrying about the rain, squinting through the streak marks, and of course, that tense feeling that comes when you can't see the road. For over 100 years, Trico has manufactured premium wiper blades to give you a clear line of sight in any weather conditions. Because on the road, every moment matters. If you're ready to leave average wiper blades behind, head to your local Firestone Complete Auto Care for a set of premium Trico wiper blades. Trico, seeing you through.
It may technically be autumn, but DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool and Fastener are running out a sizzling hot sale. Cordless deals that can't be beat. If you buy 2 select tools, get a dual 5-amp starter kit free. If you want to go bigger and better, buy a 2-piece premium brushless hammer drill impact kit, and you can pick a select free bare tool and get a 3rd 5-amp battery free. That's 3 tools, 3 5-amp batteries. Or buy a 3-speed brushless impact kit and get a 2nd impact kit for free. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, where the pros and serious do-it-yourselfers shop. Tallahassee location open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished? Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Avenue in Tallahassee and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Online at ctf.nu.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97 on ESPN Radio. Man, I'm trying to find the best NFL game we have for this weekend. It's a good week. Every week is, though. Tonight's game worth watching?
It's worth checking in on.
Yeah, I was just about to say, tonight's game is a weird one because aren't we just taking the pulse of the Chiefs? Aren't we just kind of trying to find out, are you just on a little mini two-game, got some issues here, we're going to clean it up, get it together stretch, or are you about to be screwed in the way that we think the Rams look like they're screwed, right?
I don't think they can possibly be screwed the way the Rams are screwed because they have a real quarterback.
That is true. They can't be, but they could be much more flawed than we would have thought, certainly just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
going into that game, right? That's where you kind of, I mean, across the board tonight, everybody's going to take Kansas City, but
right, like where it was setting up that Kansas City and New England are going to face off against each other, and they're equal.
It seemed to be a foregone conclusion. Right. Yeah, we all make that mistake.
Not right now.
Also, it'll be interesting. I think the most interesting game of the weekend is the Vikings at the Lions.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
That's an awesome game. I'm really, really pumped for that game because the Lions, it's gut check time. You've gotten robbed. You've been unlucky. Should have beat the Chiefs. That stunk. Obviously, what we just saw on Monday night or Sunday, whatever night that was, Monday Night Football?
It was Monday.
Yeah. That was tragic, all that stuff,
It really was. In football terms, that was a tragedy. Ridiculous.
It's terrible. But, what good teams do is they play the next play, they play the next game. You don't have a choice. So here we go. You got to win this game at home against the Vikings, but the Vikings are favored. That's a
Well, that is at Ford Field. I thought it was in Minnesota.
No, it's Ford Field. That's is right. That's
a game.
It's a fun game. Sneaky fun game is sitting here looking at Oakland. Look at the Raiders right now and John Gruden. Got to give some love where it's due.
Yeah, this is it's the opposite. For Kansas City, you're watching tonight's game or checking in on it, saying, "Okay, are you flawed?" For Oakland this weekend, it's
are you for real?
Are you for real?
Are you doing? Because I don't know where the talent is on that team. I watch them. I'm like, don't see many good players.
Yes, it's Jacobs. I
guess
first 15 plays, man. That's the talent.
Oh, touchdown every time, man. That guy, he will do it. He'll engineer it. Saints Bears, great game.
That feels
little
like
6-3.
Yeah, it
little
really does.
6-3 action. I don't doubt that, man. Who in the world is going to throw a touchdown pass in that game?
I mean, isn't Ravens Seahawks kind of weird and cool too? Because Seattle's given up a lot of points and yards, and that's in their own building too. They've done that, so that game could get interesting.
Could. I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, but
they're going to score a ton. The Ravens don't stop anybody either.
But it should be an entertaining game.
That I don't disagree with. What's the over-under?
Over-under 49.
Okay. If it's not inclement, we could see some good stuff, but it probably will be. It's the Pacific Northwest.
53 and rainy.
Yeah. Ordinarily, we'd all be excited to see Eagles at the Cowboys. I don't know. I guess. I mean, that's why I brought up the NFL just now. I took a cursory glance and went, okay, good weekend, good stuff. A lot of probing questions.
Yeah, I feel like Eagles Cowboys is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because one of those teams
got to win the division.
It ain't going to be the Giants, right?
Or Washington.
Yeah, one of these teams is going to have to make the playoffs, and they do have the capability when they're playing at peak.
Well, they both have some big weaknesses. So it's kind of like, all right, well, who's going to mask it best? Philadelphia can't stop people from throwing the football against them. But I'm not real sure with the Cowboys right now with their offense whether or not they can.
Yeah, I saw that Josina Anderson put out an anonymous source told her that was very disappointed within the Eagles locker room that they didn't make the trade. I'm going to guess that's Deshaun Jackson. Just me, because he's got no problem talking about things, especially when he's not involved in things.
Yeah, because he's been hurt. He played one game. It was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, it really was.
He went nuts, and I had him on the bench.
As a Carson Wentz fantasy owner, I sure would like to see him come back.
Well, as a Deshaun Jackson owner, I'd like to see him come back because I had him, and I benched him, and he went berserk, and then he got hurt, and that was that. Yeah, this will be fun. It's a weekend with a ton of questions to be answered and some things that, I think that the weirdest thing we can say about the NFL right now, other than noting these incredible numbers that the New England Patriots are putting up defensively. By the way, I can even still, if I wanted to, although their track record gives them the benefit of the doubt, I can still question the Patriots because that schedule, Jesus. Mm-hmm. That's a joke. I mean, that is a profound joke of the schedule they've played. But having said that, their defense is on pace to set records, NFL records, surpassing things that the Ravens and the Bucs and the Bears did. I mean, really, it's incredible. You can't score against them in the first half. People don't score.
They do at least play the Chiefs at some point this year, and that's in December on 12-8. And one would think that the Chiefs' offensive line issues will be rectified. They'll be a little bit healthier by that point. So that should be an entertaining game. But as for the near future for New England, it's a Monday night date with the Jets, followed by the Browns at home in New England, which, what's the number on the AFC opponents going into Foxborough regular season?
2 and whatever the hell they are.
Then they travel to Baltimore, and they travel to Philly. So, I mean, it's not an inspiring next month in terms of degree of difficulty either.
No, they're just going to keep winning, man. They're going to amass a ton of wins. They play an incredible amount of defense. It's really hard to see a way that somebody is able to unseat New England, and then they're going to be hosting throughout the playoffs, so it's going to be very, very difficult to go in there and win a game.
So here you go. This is really interesting. After that little 4-game stretch I talked about, this is on the 24th of November. They host the Cowboys. They're going to win that game. But then they go down to Houston. All right.
Great game. And there it is. Circle it, baby.
And then they host the Chiefs. So back-to-back weeks, you get a little taste of it if you're a New England fan, a little playoff preview. Mm-hmm. And you better enjoy every morsel because the last 3 games of the season for New England, at Cincinnati.
Boo.
Home hosting the Bills.
Boo.
And home hosting the Dolphins.
Boo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Patriots to go freaking 14-2 at this point. It's
and they will have a preseason before the postseason with those 3 games.
Unreal. By the way, that Houston team would be the one right now, don't you think, that you would lean towards as the possible upset win? Wouldn't even that be that big of an upset?
Well, you know what? I looked ahead in the future, and the ESPN FPI predictor for that game between Houston and New England says it's a coin flip. They say the game is a virtual coin flip.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, for tonight's game is 3-0 in his career against the Broncos, 2-0 in Denver. The Chiefs have lost 2 straight games. They are injured, as you noted. Run the ball, keep control of the football, keep Mahomes on the bench. It's worked to a T these last 2 losses against the Colts and the Texans. They lost time of possession by 20 minutes against the Texans. I don't know how you expect to win a game like that in the NFL. They lost by 15 minutes against the Colts, and that's why they lost that football game. The Chiefs, on average this season, 26 minutes of possession time. It's the 3rd worst in the NFL, ahead of only Washington and the Dolphins. Neither team counts. So they're last, in essence.
Wouldn't you bring the house on every play when you have Patrick Mahomes? This was your idea after
Boomer
the Boise
bust?
game.
Yeah,
or
Boomer
after
bust.
ULM, which is let's just outpossess them, or at least a possession count, I should say.
Yeah, I would play to my, Boomer bust. I do think it's a little different in the NFL. Teams are better equipped to do something about it because you're talking about the elite of the elite of the elite, and they're going to have a game plan where I don't know. I think you'd be in big trouble doing that because that would be so predictable. But yeah, I mean,
well, Flacco can't move, right? And the strength of their offense is 2 running backs, and then you just hope that Mahomes can drop 35, 40 points, and that's your formula. Because at least you'll have the ball for 10 possessions, 11 possessions. You'd figure your output's going to be pretty high.
Denver's defense lately has been very good. That would be fascinating. Denver's rushed at the 7th highest rate this season, by the way. They run the football. They try to hide Flacco. They don't want old Joe to have to lead him to victory. And I'm looking at those numbers now. Pulled those up. Those are fun. There's a stat. Michael Lombardi has talked about it because Bill Belichick talked about it, and whatever Bill Belichick talked about, Michael Lombardi repeats, which is not a bad policy because Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time. In the stat, I wrote it down, Tom, because I want to start following this for the
wrote it down
in the notes section, buddy. In the notes section, he said, go back after games when you're doing box score exploration and trying to figure out what happened in games you didn't see or whatever. And look at rushes and completion stat. Amount of rushes and the amount of completions added together. Anything over 51 is really good because it speaks to execution. So it would be fascinating. Like the amount of rushes combined with the amount of completions and see if you can get over 50. Anything over 50 is considered good.
Okay.
Start following those numbers.
Because it means you possess the ball for more, but what about games
means
that
you
end
executed. It means you converted also.
But what about games that are 45-38? I would think, both teams would hit that metric.
Right. There'd be a time, right? You'd have to look into it, yeah.
Which, to look at the NFL slate this weekend, 1 o'clock, you got a chance for a real barn burner in Atlanta. Rams-Falcons.
I don't want to watch it.
Rams need to get off the schneid. Falcons can't stop anybody. That figures to be, what, race to 34, 36, somewhere in there?
40. The Falcons are...
The over-under in that game was 54.5.
We did watch the Bucs play a 55-40 game or whatever the hell that was against the Rams. This should be that.
That game, the over-under is 54.5. Vegas doesn't think it's going to be that high scoring.
Well, because it's hard to predict anything more than that in an NFL game. There's just usually not enough possessions. That's just bizarre. Ramsey's going to play is what they're saying. So that kind of...
His back's better?
Magically the back is better. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, when I referenced, we were just talking about what to watch, and we talked Kansas City and Denver and all that, and I mentioned the baseball game earlier in the show, and I threw it out there, and I was surprised that you didn't notice it, that Tanaka, when I said to you that he has the second best postseason numbers in like Major League Baseball history, it's insane.
Yeah.
7 consecutive postseason starts in which he's pitched at least 5 innings and given up 2 or fewer runs.
Okay, so you're going to make me pull up his numbers compared to Strasburg's? Is that what we're getting at here?
Pull it up next to Sandy Koufax. It's unbelievable. You know who's on that list? Orlando Hernandez.
El Duque.
El Duque.
Oh, he got hurt in 06. We're going to win the World Series.
El Duque's on that list.
Okay, he's got really good postseason numbers. Really good. In 7 starts, he's pitched to a 1.32 ERA.
That's insane.
36 strikeouts against just 9 walks.
Yes.
4-to-1 ratio. Nothing. Well, there's one number he's got that he has over Steven Strasburg. That's his whip. The whip is absurd. He's 0.73.
3 career scoreless outings of 6+ innings in the postseason for Tanaka. That's the second most in Yankees history. He's made 33 fewer starts in the postseason than the leader in the clubhouse for the Yankees. You know who that leader is? Andy Pettitte.
Yeah, of course. With that zoomed-in camera behind home plate. Look at the intensity in Andy's eyes. Every game he pitched.
It's nuts. The Astros are 0-2 this postseason when Zach Greinke starts. We already knew that. By the way, they're 5-1 when everybody else starts. So if you don't have Greinke on the hill, you're pretty much winning the game.
Yeah, so Tanaka's whip is 0.73 to Strasburg's 0.90. Strasburg has the edge in ERA. He's pitched to a 1.10 versus Tanaka's 1.32. Splitting hairs at the highest level here. Strasburg has struck out 57 in 41 innings. Tanaka, 36 in 41 innings. So Tanaka is pitching his way around things a little bit more than 3 true outcomes. Strasburg is Mr. 3 true outcomes.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Tanaka, it's just 7 consecutive postseason starts where he's given up 2 runs or fewer in 5 innings pitched or more each time. They get an incredible outing every time he goes out there.
Strasburg's postseason strikeouts to walks, 57-5. 57-5.
Give me the innings pitched in his career in the postseason. Strasburg.
41.
Okay.
It's bad. Yeah, right on the same. They're the same. To the out. 41 for Tanaka, 41 for Strasburg.
That's incredible.
Strasburg, K to walk is over 10. Tanaka's is 4-1, right on the nose.
So the career postseason ERA of 1.32 is third in postseason history amongst pitchers to toss at least 40 innings pitched.
So Koufax and Strasburg, is that what it is?
Koufax is number one. Mariano Rivera is a reliever.
That doesn't count.
So it's Sandy Koufax and then Masahiro Tanaka. They do not list Steven Strasburg.
Well, I mean, he pitched his 40th inning just this week.
So now he's going to qualify. I was going to say he hadn't.
The best there is. That's who that guy is. Crazy. In the postseason.
I guess, I don't know why this is so wrong on this thing. I guess it's just Tanaka's pitched. I'm trying to.
Entering this year? I don't know.
Might have been entering. Well, no, I mean,
Tanaka's completed 6 innings this postseason. 11. He's pitched 11 this postseason to get to 41. He's gone.
He has to have pitched more than that because he's got.
I'm looking at Baseball Reference, so I mean, you can usually take that to the bank.
Yeah, usually.
Masahiro Tanaka is 5-2, 1.32 ERA in 7 postseason starts in his career. He's pitched 11 innings this postseason, giving up just 1 run.
Right. Oh, he's been incredible.
11 Ks against 2 walks. He's been phenomenal. Strasburg this postseason.
Well, we know what he did this postseason to Strasburg.
He's made 3 starts because he appeared in the wild card game. So it's 2 starts and a relief appearance. Wow. Well, Strasburg's numbers are off the charts. You know he has 33 strikeouts against 1 walk this postseason.
Well, now go look up Garrett Cole. I mean, we can go on. What we're watching. So this was the year of the home run, the year of offense, the year of all these astronomical totals that we were talking about throughout the season. And every year we get to this point and we hear the cliche and they roll it out there, but it's always true that great pitching beats great hitting, and it doesn't appear to matter how many home runs are hit in the regular season or what people are on, what kind of drugs people are on or anything else. When you get to this time, great pitching still dominates.
Yeah, Strasburg, let me clean it up real quick. It's 4 appearances, 3 starts, because he did start twice in the DS. And quick math here, it's 22 innings. He's given up 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 33 strikeouts to 1 walk. His whip for his postseason career is just a shade over 0.90. This postseason, it's been well below that.
I'm just amazed looking at, on the other side of this, Tanaka has made 33 fewer starts than Andy Pettitte, and he's 1 away from breaking the Yankees record for career scoreless innings of 6 innings starts of 6 innings plus. That's just crazy. The Yankees have had some pitchers.
Yeah, well, and Pettitte is considered to be Mr. October in terms of their franchise's lore. At least
so this would appear to be a mismatch today. Tanaka versus Zach Greinke.
If he's as good as Strasburg, then it is.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win an ultimate Fan Cave experience from Bud Light, an over $1,500 prize giveaway. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit tryeaglesales.com. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. A message from local beverage distributor Tri Eagle Sales.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on, man?
Hello, Eddie. How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm okay. I guess we got to do this commercial.
Time for the bantering to begin.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeff? I want something different now.
You don't want to banter anymore.
I enjoy the banter. I do. But I want theme music, Jeff. Gordo's needs theme music.
Gordo's, the restaurant, the delicious food and the people and the atmosphere. Gordo's, not you personally, but Gordo's.
Yes,
I like
Gordo's, not me. I mean, of course, I would love to have people following me around playing music all the time.
Especially at Gordo's.
It's always in my head. But I need something for Gordo's. I need to have something special, something that, heck, the King of the Hill has his own theme music. The Kids in the Hall. Why not me? Why not Gordo's?
Why not Gordo's? All right. I guess I'm going to be looking for some theme music.
You mean you're going to have Tom looking for some theme music?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yep. Get on it, Tommy. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Can you hear it? There's no better tradition in all of sports than 80,000 Knowles doing the war chant. Now is your chance to be a part of that. Single game tickets are on sale now as the Knowles welcome in Syracuse on October 26th for homecoming, and then Miami on November 2nd. Don't get left out of the best tradition in all of sports.
Get your tickets by calling 888-FSU-KNOLL to see Florida State football take on Syracuse and Miami.
Or visit Seminoles.com today.
You're on your way to pick up your daughter from her first high school dance. As you pull away, it starts to rain. Hard. Thankfully, you have a new set of premium Trico wiper blades. Engineered for over 100 years to perform in any weather condition. With Trico's full line of premium beam blades, it also means you've got a clear line of sight for her first kiss, too. Hey, buddy. Head to your local Napa Auto Parts store for a set of premium Trico wiper blades. Trico, seeing you through.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
When was the last time you experienced something for the first time? On Thursday, October 17th from 6 to 10 p.m., Jerry's Famous Cigar Shop is hosting another exclusive cigar tasting event featuring Balmoral cigars. Meet their national sales director while enjoying music, craft beers, and delicious cigars. You'll also get special event deals on all Balmoral cigars. Don't miss the Jerry Cigar Shop Balmoral Cigars event on Thursday, October 17th from 6 to 10 p.m. Find out more at jerrycigarshop.com.
Lane's Medical Shop has all of your home medical needs. They carry home oxygen, hospital beds, nebulizers, walkers, wheelchairs, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and all sleep apnea supplies. Lane's also has a weight loss clinic in-house, no appointment necessary, including B12 injections and any prescriptions necessary with the lowest prices around, and delivers to Tallahassee in South Georgia. Located only 40 miles from Tallahassee, go see Blake today, 210 West Main Street, Colquitt, Georgia, 229-758-9111.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split 1 Aurora wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with the new arrivals from Cleveland Golf. Turbocharge your game with the new Cleveland Launcher HB Turbo Driver that delivers more speed for higher, longer, and straighter drives. And the Launcher HB Turbo Irons, which deliver maximum forgiveness, higher trajectory, and increased ball speed for more accurate and longer shots. And the Launcher UHX Irons deliver the perfect blend of distance and accuracy. Let us help you get custom fit for free today at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished? Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Avenue in Tallahassee and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Online at ctf.nu.
Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Hello on a Redemption Thursday. Hope this finds you doing well. What say you? You guys happy? You can watch a little football tonight, some baseball to boot. It's a busy night, too, with the NHL. We got a lot. Multiple TVs in the Cameron household going on tonight. I like it. Partly because it's a sporting kind of night. You've got plenty to sink your teeth into. But also, I just like all the action, man. This is good. You got to embrace it because where we're at right now, you can't solely focus on Florida State football. You got to broaden your net there, baby.
You are in the heart of the best sporting month of the year.
Yeah.
It's not close.
It's good. It's good stuff. You get, although I will say, I do love when the Masters rolls around and the NCAA tournament. That's a good time.
April's a good month.
It's a real good
because you get the beginning of the playoffs in both the NBA and the NHL. But typically, the NBA first round specifically isn't all that good. Might change this year.
It's going to change this year because it's wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take a flyer if you wanted to put a wager on Utah to win the NBA championship, and you could get good value on that. I mean, that's how wide open it is right now. I think it's going to be fun. I'm actually looking forward to the start of the NBA season quite a bit.
It should be. So it starts next Tuesday, in fact. And because last night I flipped over to ESPN around 9, and I thought they were going to have the Liddell and Ortiz.
Have you watched that yet?
No.
I've watched it.
It must have been on Tuesday night that they let that run.
You know. Tell me if I'm a bad dad. I let Clark watch that with me.
I don't know. I don't know the story enough.
Well, I mean, Tito Ortiz and Mary Jenna Jameson and all that. I mean, there's some stuff in there.
Honestly, I'm completely ignorant to the story other than the phenomenon that was Chuck Liddell when UFC was really peaking about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's a really well-done documentary. I was into it back then, and I knew both their careers really, really well and their rivalry and how they had gone from dear friends to hated enemies to all. It's well done. It's interesting.
The reason I think documentaries like that are more appealing sometimes than the big sports documentaries are for people like me. Like, I don't really get it. I know I remember experiencing it as it happened, but not the depth. I just knew that it was on or that it was an event we need to go watch together or whatever. But if you're ignorant to something, that's when 30 for 30 really can help speed up the process.
Yeah, let's get straight to it. That's a decade's worth of information here in about an hour and a half. Yeah, we're good to go. Speaking of which, and I'm sure wrestling fans were already aware of this. By the way, welcome in, Jeff Cameron Show. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com and all that good stuff. But I just now watched the documentary on Amazon of The Iron Sheik. And it's fantastic.
Is it really?
It'll break your heart, but it's fantastic. Yeah. And Matthew, you've seen it yet? The Sheik? It's good. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? I mean, it's really good, really well done.
He's one sad jabroni.
He's awesome. There's the first half of it. You're just blown away. I mean, that's my era. I mean, and I loved him because I always root for heels. I loved Piper and him and Cowboy Bob Orton and all the guys that people hated back then. I embraced Nikolai Volkov. All these guys. I loved him.
So, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is there's a lot of people that listen to this show who are diehard wrestling fans, and I don't fall in that category, but I have more than a cursory knowledge of wrestling, especially from a certain era. And so when I saw that was there, I thought, well, he's an interesting person, the Iron Sheik, and I wanted to know his backstory. Like, when did he move to America? What led to it? Why? What does he think about his life? I didn't realize the extent to which he ended up having a terrible drug problem and personal tragedy in his family and all this other stuff, and it's fascinating.
Life on the road, huh?
Well, that and he had a personal tragedy. I won't give it away, but he had a family tragedy that I'm not saying it's a good thing that he went to drugs, but I could see how it happened. And so, it's just tough. It's a lot of these guys, man.
So last night I found myself yearning for a little bit of playoff baseball, probably because it wasn't there to be
Probably
had.
because it wasn't on, yeah.
But I'm flipping around, and so I go to ESPN. I was like, is this the regular season? No way. So I looked it up. No, next Tuesday, which is awesome because you get Zion in Game 1.
Yep.
But then Game 2 of the opening night doubleheader, Clippers-Lakers.
Yeah, I already saw it. I was like, circling that. We're going to watch.
Be staying up late next Tuesday. But then I'm going around the channels on 404. It was South Alabama and Troy. It was right around halftime.
Hideous game.
Yeah, it was 14-0. I was like,
that game ended up being a blowout.
So I flipped on AEW Wrestling. I did because it was just after 9 o'clock. So usually the top of the hour, they want to give you a good match.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's really good because they do outrageous things.
Yes, they do. The two guys with the masks.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. We were
Holy
watching the same shows.
The small guy.
and then
That match was incredible.
You and I are watching the exact same shows at the exact same time. I literally did the same flipping you did, and I thought the NBA hasn't started yet. Then I did this. I did the exact same. We're the same person. It's bizarre.
So that match was 20 minutes of phenomenal acrobaticism, if that's a word.
It
Acrobatics.
should be. It ought to be. No, you're right. Crazy acrobatics. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
How'd you finish that sequence? Did you flip over to NBC Sports and watch the end of Pittsburgh and Colorado?
That's what you did. What I did was turn off my TV and go to sleep.
Okay, I watched the end of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
that was
I
it
went to
because
sleep.
it was 2-2 with 7 minutes to go. I said, all right, these are two good teams.
Yeah, I'll watch this.
Ended up going to overtime. It was an own goal that ended the game. Yikes.
I was tired. That was late. What time was that?
Closer to 10 by that point.
Because
the next match came up for AEW, and it was another tag match.
I caught like the back half, I think, because I did my golf show last night and got done with that and got home. But I got home in record time. There was nobody on the roads last night. It was a thing of beauty. I was probably back at my house by 10:15, which never happens.
But so you probably caught it on the rerun because AEW plays it right back to back.
Okay, so that's what I did.
Rerun.
I was going to say, because I thought it was later than that.
So for you, it was around 11:10.
Yeah, because I was tired. I remember thinking, I need to go to bed. But you have to decompress after, this. When you do shows, you have to decompress. And so the worst thing about my Wednesday night show, which I love doing, Trey Jones, if you're out there, I love you, buddy. But when we do that show, we don't get off the air, and I get jacked for that show because we're on in prime time, drive time in Los Angeles, and that's not bragging. That's not a humble brag either. It's just that you get an adrenaline spike knowing you're about to go live in big cities. And we interviewed Hank Leviota last night, and we had multiple guests, and so I was all in it, and it's hard. I gotta go. It takes me an hour and a half to kind of come down.
That's why when we're on site, whether it used to be the old pregame shows or the Corner Pocket, which we've been doing for 7-8 years now.
More than that, I think.
Well, if you're dating back to the old place, we did some shows at that point. But that's why that tall, cold Guinness at the end of the day.
But you can't do that on a Wednesday.
No,
you could, but
nor can you. But the normal weekday shows, you're in your own element. It's fine.
Yeah,
but
you're right. Yeah.
If you take us out and put us somewhere else,
you put
I
us
do
out
need
and about. You're like, ooh,
a decompression tonic, which do they call a Guinness?
You see what happened to all these artists. I remember one time Michael Stipe from REM was giving an interview. He said he would suffer intense depression when REM would come off a tour. He never could figure out why. Like he was really scared. I mean, he said he would sit alone sometimes in his bathtub and just stare at the wall for like hours, but it would last for weeks, and he couldn't figure it out. And finally, either one of his bandmates, either Peter Buck or somebody said, "Well, look, you dumbass, we just toured all of Japan, all of Australia. We went through all of Europe. You're in front of 50,000 people every other night, and we're going, and you get that adrenaline kick, and now it's gone. Now we've taken the drug." You don't get that. You don't get the highs, the lows, and everything in between. You don't get the adulation. You don't get any of it. You're at your house. It's quiet. There's nobody here. It's Tuesday, and nothing's going to happen tomorrow because you're a musician. You're not punching a clock 9 to 5. This is you're either in it. It's I would think it's a little bit like being a cop in a weird way. It's like adrenaline spike to nothing. Like I'm bored to tears. Oh, we got a problem. Adrenaline spike, I could lose my life.
You could say a retired athlete who's a 10, 20-year player.
And you see that all the time with athletes, and they struggle. A little bit of randomness all over the map on a Redemption Thursday. Let's get to the wagers. We shall. Here you go. Pittsburgh, Syracuse, under 51.5. Can't bet a winner on either one of these two teams. What happened to Syracuse falling off a cliff? I'm glad they have, because we play them after this game against Wake, and I just
remember the defiance. Dino Babers.
Yeah,
makes
up in
me
Charlotte,
laugh.
man. It's hilarious
the way borderline a-holic.
Well, he came striding in. It's like Vince McMahon. He that walk. He really was feeling it, and they are a mess. They are. So I
take delight in it. I'll be honest.
He
was a total D-bag during that interview. That was ridiculous.
But he was great the year before. I don't know, man. He had 1 year of success, and all of a sudden it was like, yeah, you guys can't touch me.
The reason I had a problem with the interview is because you're praising him, and he's like, "Yeah, so what do you think about this?" Well, dude, wait a minute.
No, what I didn't like was that once I praised him, he turned around and said, "Were you one of the ones who picked me last?" They do the preseason poll, and we're part of the preseason poll every year. He goes, "Oh, well, thanks. Were you one of the guys who voted for us to finish last year?" Like, he didn't even accept the compliment.
Right. It would be like if Spurrier back in the day, you finally beat him, and he's like, well, we didn't play well, we didn't coach, but we got to get way better. It's on us.
Yeah.
So as a media member, you're supposed to say, yeah, so what about it? Like,
there's nothing you can do.
No, pal, you're getting the adulation that you deserve now.
You get what you want.
Take it.
Nothing to move. Yeah. Boise -7 against BYU. BYU is injury-riddled, and, hey, Don't look now. That backup quarterback for Boise kind of looks better than the kid that came in here and killed us. Just pisses.
Which means he would beat the Bucks.
Oklahoma State -4 against Baylor. Baylor's the luckiest team in football. Has no business being undefeated. It ends this weekend in Stillwater. Oklahoma State coming off a bye. Get it together. Let's go, Gundy.
The Fighting Gundies.
Get it together, Gundy. Let's go.
It's another big game for the Cowboys.
There you go. It is. Get it together. Virginia Tech +3.5 against North Carolina. Virginia Tech's hosting. Can you lay 3.5 points with North Carolina against anybody in the ACC on the road?
Can you take 3.5 points if you're Virginia Tech?
Yeah. Just got done winning the road game against Miami. Sure. Yeah, I like it.
Oh.
3.5, buddy.
I don't know that was by the book the way they won that one.
It's not, but they haven't quit. And then because they haven't quit, North Carolina, give me Vodtech. I think Virginia Tech might win the game. A little tall.
Wait a minute.
Some tall
Wait
boys.
a minute.
Some tall boys
I think
here.
we've got a candidate here.
These tall boys aren't going to buy themselves, boys.
All right, Matthew, put it on the board. Give me Virginia Tech +3.5 against Tom, taking the Fighting Tar Heels there. Freshman
Tall
quarterback.
boys.
There it is.
Somebody's winning, tall boys.
Penn State -8.5 against Michigan. I am not deterred by the big number. Michigan doesn't show up to these games. It's a whiteout in Happy Valley. Penn State rolls and rolls big. Can Michigan score?
Well,
will they score a point?
Yeah.
Really?
Is that a tall boy bet?
No, it's not a tall boy bet. I can't bet on shutouts. They could get short fields and things like that. They're not going to drive the football against Penn State.
I'll take that bet.
You would, but I'm not doing that. I'm taking the Canes. I'm taking the mighty Canes at home -18 against Georgia Tech. Give up all those points. They roll big. I can't entice you. I was trying to lure you in, overstating.
It took 2 times for me or 3 times to bite on that North Carolina line.
There you go. The NFL, tonight's game. All right, well, you need a reason to watch. Patrick Mahomes is always a reason to watch, but they're a broken team right now as Kansas City. I was just thinking about Denver today. Remember how they got screwed against Chicago with that call and then that field goal? So they win that game, they'd be 3-3 instead of 2-4. And they also got screwed in another game this year. Was it the Chargers game? Which game was? No, it might have been Jacksonville. It was another weird moment where they got a horrible call, a roughing the passer call that screwed them entirely. It's like twice this year. They could legitimately, even with Sarius Flacco, be 4-2.
Well, yeah, they played Green Bay in Lambeau pretty well also.
That's right. It was a weird.
Yeah.
So they're a weird team.
They're weird. They are that dangerous team. They're a true NFL under 500 team.
And they're hosting, and I'm going to take the under 49.5 tonight because they are something like 13-2 in their last 15 to the under.
They're not Washington or Miami. Like they're one of the true ones that can rise up in a given week.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take the under tonight because the formula has just been to run it. They'll run it with what's his name, Lindsey and Royce and all. Just run the ball and try to keep Kansas City off the field. Kansas City's rush defense is, depending on where you look, the worst in the National Football League or the second worst in the National Football League. There's 2 sets of numbers that I was looking at. They didn't rate well in either one. That's the formula, right? They figured out, Patrick Mahomes cannot light up the scoreboard if he's not on the damn field. Keep him off the field. This gets me. Somehow every time I talk about Kansas City, I come back to us, to the Knowles, and the way we want to play. And I don't like it. I don't like the non-complimentary football. Not when it's that disproportionate.
Well, it's hard to play complimentary football when you can't cover and you can't block.
We just don't play good football.
Yeah.
That's
on defense, we're playing the complimentary defense in a sick way. Can't rush the passer and you can't cover. It's a hell of a 1-2.
Well, and on standard running downs, they don't get stops either.
Talk about the symmetry between the Knowles and other teams. There's your spoiler. Remember, both Tampa and the Knowles were able to get home with exotic looks early on in the season, and they were easily figured out by their next opponents.
Yeah, they got it all figured out. You're right. I finally went real Joe Public here and took the Patriots to just pound the Jets. I don't care that Sam Darnold's back. People prattle on about Sam Darnold. I'm like, come on, man.
That's Monday night, isn't it?
That's 9.5 points that they're giving on the road. That's a huge number to give as a road team, but I can't pick the Jets against Belichick's defense.
The argument for New England is Brady is going to play really well at some point, isn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't really played all that well yet. Well, every time this happens, based on history, you're right. But at some point, that age is going to matter. I mean, we are going to see him not make throws at some point that he's accustomed to making.
I'm going to bet on Tom Brady on this one. You know what? It sounds like the price is right.
Okay.
Spot me half a tall boy. Half a tall boy.
I'm betting on Brady, too. I took it. So we're the same.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were taking the Jets plus 9.5.
No.
Okay,
No,
I heard that different.
No, I got New England minus
Been hearing it wrong every
9.5
day.
on the road. I've got New England on the road minus 9.5. I'm just saying that's a big number to lay on the road. But I don't like the Jets, and I don't care about Sam Darnold.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a big number.
When you said that's a big number to lay on the road, I thought
yeah.
that meant yes.
No, that's a big number that I'm laying.
Okay. Lay
Florida State doesn't know which quarterback, or they do, but they're not telling. That's the news of the day. Willie Taggart says
it's a secret.
It's a secret. But there is some strategery that is involved in that. I get not telling the other team who to prepare for. Okay.
Yeah, but Aslan asked him, is there a difference between the two guys that you put out there? Willie said no. So, okay, I guess.
Well, there is a difference, I think.
Willie said no.
I don't think Willie's saying anything these days. I mean, I really just don't think he cares to be there talking to the press at all, and he's willing to offer up exactly nothing. And so it's tough on the media right now. Look, listen, whatever. They got to ask the questions. Willie can answer them however he wants. I have an opinion on how that makes him look, but it doesn't really. He can do that. I mean, lots of coaches don't want to talk to the media, but all right. Okay. There's a price to be paid for that, by the way.
Whatever. It's tough on the media, but it's tougher on the staff right now because they need to make hay or else. You know?
No. I'm not saying I feel sorry for the media. I'm saying that it's tough. You got a job to do. You're trying to do it. They're not giving you anything. You still got to produce stories. You still got to ask questions. And when you don't get anything, you're free to kind of write what you want, within reason. Obviously, you can't just make stuff up. But I think that's a dangerous road to go down if you're a coach.
Well, the good thing is, if you're the media, this does actually give you an opportunity because you can break the big story. Who's actually starting? If you can mine for that news and break the news here locally, that's a massive story. Is it Hornibrook or Blackman?
Yeah.
Might be the story of the decade.
That's what makes me laugh about it, right? Like, if you're mining those waters, trying to figure that out, you're asking your inside guy who got the vast majority of the reps. I mean, at some point, it would hit you like, it doesn't matter.
Do I really need to break this?
I don't need to break this story because neither of these guys are very good.
But it did happen a few weeks ago that Hornibrook was gonna play in the game, third drive or whatever.
Brendan Snell got that, and that was a big story, actually, because it was the first he had played. He was coming in the third drive. We knew he was going to play. That was a good story.
Well, because Willie teed it up on Thursday saying we've got a package for Hornibrook.
And we were laughing about that.
And then they mined for it. So that's exactly what they're doing these last couple of days.
By the way, due to expected weather issues, tomorrow afternoon's game against State College of Florida.
Ooh, baseball.
Mm-hmm. Will now begin at 2:30 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. So you have a little fall baseball schedule here. So Friday, October the 18th, that's tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Wednesday, October 30th, is the Garnet and Gold game. And then Friday, November the 1st, is Garnet and Gold game again. And then finally, Saturday, November the 9th, Jacksonville University.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I like that.
It's the no-names versus the Dolphins. That's
all 4 games, Tom, will be played at Dick Howser Stadium, and admission is free. Come on in.
We're the no-names, right? No names in the third base dugout.
Is that what we are?
They took the nameplates off.
Yeah. That was all, whatever. I don't care about that.
So the no names in the third base.
Yeah, we're Florida State. That's all we need to know. I agree with Mike on that. Just get out there. We're Florida State.
Get out there, 41. I don't want to remember your freaking name.
27. Pick up the ball. That's what I'm guessing.
I think we should describe every player this year just by their number.
Just by their number?
Because that's the way they're going to be known on the field.
I like
numbers only.
That is for charitable purposes, those wagers, by the way, that I hold in my hand, the games that I picked, the Redemption Thursday wagers, if you will. It is non-perishable food items. You guys are on the honor system there. I'm thinking we probably, if we haven't done it yet, need to drop off those food items, and let's ratchet it back up as we get towards Thanksgiving. I'll do my part. I know the weekends in which I had a losing record, and I will put my fair share of food in there, drop off at the charity of your choice. So I'm not telling you where. Whatever organization you believe in and think is doing the most amount of good, I would encourage you to research that stuff. I have, because I do this show and I want to make sure that I'm giving to the right people. And I also like to mix it up. Lots of organizations out there doing a lot of great work. And I would just encourage you to find the ones that are. And they're easy to verify, easy to get confirmation. Most people, that information is available online most of the time. And I would encourage you to go out there and do it. Make it happen. Give up the food.
Feed some people who need it, man.
It's a bigger problem than maybe I realized about 10 years ago, and then I really got serious about looking into it, and then I was like, oh man, okay, yeah, it is. It's a bigger problem than you realize. So a lot of good could be done, and most of us are all willing to do it. It's a great community. You know, that's the thing I've also discovered in this process is that the people are really, really good, and even though it doesn't feel that way, if you're surfing social media or you watch the news, it feels like everybody's an a-hole. Feels like people are just bad to one another. But in truth, if you get out there, you find that most people are pretty good, and they do want to help out. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this. I thought I could handle it. We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Kit free. If you want to go bigger and better, buy a 2-piece premium brushless hammer drill impact kit, and you can pick a select free bare tool and get a third 5-amp battery free. That's 3 tools, 3 5-amp batteries. Or buy a 3-speed brushless impact kit and get a second impact kit for free. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, with the pros and serious do-it-yourselfer shop. Tallahassee location open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
It's been many months since Hurricane Michael devastated our area. Many people are still dealing with the damages and finding it hard to get a local contractor to contact them. Are you struggling with getting assistance to fix your damages? Are you feeling like your insurance company is not being fair? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, we can help. My name is Travis, owner of T-Spark Enterprises, and I'm asking you to give us a call today for your free consultation. Let my company guide you through the process to get your home back to normal.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on, man?
Hello, Eddie. How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm okay. I guess we got to do this commercial.
Time for the bantering to begin.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeff? I want something different now.
You don't want to banter anymore.
I enjoy the banter. I do. But I want theme music, Jeff. Gordo's needs theme music.
Gordo's, the restaurant, the delicious food and the people and the atmosphere. Gordo's, not you personally, but Gordo's.
Yes,
I like
Gordo's, not me. I mean, of course, I would love to have people following me around playing music all the time.
Especially at Gordo's.
It's always in my head. But I need something for Gordo's. I need to have something special, something that, you know, heck, the King of the Hill has his own theme music. The Kids in the Hall. Why not me? Why not Gordo's?
Why not Gordo's? All right, I guess I'm going to be looking for some theme music.
You mean you're going to have Tom looking for some theme music?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yep, get on it, Tommy. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show podcast, available on demand at ESPNTallahassee.com and on iTunes today. The Jeff Cameron Show podcast is brought to you by Garnet and Gold of Tallahassee. When you buy FSU apparel, support local business. GarnetandGold.com.
The 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachia Parkway is Tallahassee's premier location to try out the best craft brews from the state of Florida. With 14 self-service taps activated by cutting-edge technology, you can try as little or as much as you like from their full menu. The 7th Hill is a proud home of international soccer, opening early for every Arsenal game. They're also open by request for your favorite club, too. Whether it's a happy hour deal, Sunday brunch with $3 mimosas and a food truck, or time to catch up with friends over a board game, darts, or shuffleboard, Tallahassee's premier spot to enjoy local and Florida craft brews is the 7th Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway, right underneath the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Chuck Oliver here, and there's no better place to watch football this season than Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, located at 926 North Monroe Street. On the corner of 3rd Monroe, Cigars of Tally is the perfect place to kick back and enjoy your favorite cigars and ice-cold beer. The Diamond Crown Lounge offers countless options, including J.C. Newman, Arturo Fuente, Padron, Drew Estate, Ashton, and many more. Watch your teams on sparkling 4K TVs and seating areas made for comfort and luxury relaxation. Check out the private conference rooms and the a spacious patio for your next watch party and fantasy draft. Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, 926 North Monroe Street. Get your ash in here.
Hardee's new Monster Roast Beef Sandwich is stacked with slow-cooked roast beef, slices of crispy applewood smoked bacon, all covered in layers of melted cheese. This tasty triple threat is kind of like an epic no-hands backflip on a wild Mustang while spearing a great white shark. How you got a wild horse out in the middle of the ocean isn't important. What's important is that the new Monster Roast Beef Combo with fries and a Dr. Pepper is only available at Hardee's.
Available for a limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
Noel fans, 97.9 ESPN Radio's exclusive home for 2019 away game watch parties is Hangar 38 in Bannerman Crossing.
Looking for the slant. This time Terry's got it. And he's into the end zone. That's a Florida State touchdown.
The Jeff Cameron Show crew will be on hand for every Seminole away football game for contests, prizes, and a good time.
They'll feed it to him again. Look out. Touchdown!
So when the Knowles hit the road, join us at Hangar 38 in Bannerman Crossing, the exclusive watch party headquarters for 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's sports monster. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio on a Redemption Thursday. David Hale going to join us on the program tomorrow. Looking forward to talking to David Hale. We got a lot of catching up to do. Feels like it's been a while.
I'll bet he could tell you every detail of Clemson's season so far. That's all that there is to cover if you're an ACC guy.
Yeah, and there's no doubt he can. And I wonder if Clemson, aforementioned Clemson, is going to take off now. They got the wake-up call. They got the bye week. They got healthy. They got the thorough beatdown of us. And now it's the back half of the season. It's time to lock it in and make a run. I wonder if they're going to take off.
I wonder if he's sick of covering Clemson.
I'll ask him.
You know, like, wouldn't you like, David, that somebody else would rise up so you could do some feature pieces on Florida State, perhaps?
Well, he's done them before. Well, or anybody. He did it before, when Syracuse rose up. Now, of course, he went to Syracuse, so I'm sure he was elated to go to Syracuse and cover that because I'm sure the entire time he was there, they were useless in football.
Yeah, probably.
It's a safe bet.
Unless he's really old, which he's not.
He's not. So, no, in fact, I know they were useless while he was there. So I think honestly, if you cover the program, if you cover the ACC as a whole, no matter where you went to school, you want to see some semblance of balance. We had it in the ACC a few years ago. This was a great conference. It was rivaling the SEC for a singular season as the best conference in the country, period. And in many ways, it outshone the SEC that year. But it's nuts. People are asking not only what happened to Florida State, but what happened to the ACC. And you had a lot of quarterbacks leave that were very, very good. And then defenses took a real hit. And all of a sudden, it's tough times in this conference. And it shows you that the conference, while having a season like it did a few years ago and emerging for about a 2 or 3 year stretch as a upper echelon Power 5 conference, it lacked real depth and stability. You were just a player or two away from seeing this thing fall off big time.
We're back to the 90s. It's just that Clemson is where we are, and we are now back in the hole with everybody else.
Yeah, certainly that's true because Miami has still not emerged. They're still searching. Virginia Tech has taken a huge step back. Florida State has taken a huge step back. And so when teams like Pitt rise up and have a chance to win the Coastal or do win the Coastal, or even Virginia, let's say they win the Coastal, those are middling teams nationally. They're not elite teams, but they just happen to be better than the other bad teams in the ACC, in the Coastal Division. And then in the Atlantic Division, obviously we see the turnover that's going on with Louisville. We see what's happened here at Florida State. It's tough when Wake Forest is arguably the second best team in the ACC, and I don't think Wake Forest is all that good. I like us this weekend as an underdog. I took the points, and I took us. By the way, in my Redemption Thursday wagers, I probably should have mentioned that. I took Florida State +2 versus Wake. I like us to win the game outright. I think there are favorable matchups for Florida State. When you go inside the analytics of Wake Forest, what do they give up? Well, they give up big plays. Real big plays. They have given up a ton of splash plays. I don't think they'll cover our receivers real well. If we get a modicum of blocking, Florida State's going to be able to throw the football. Now, that said, I like Wake's linebackers. They actually play the run pretty well in standard offense, if you line up and try to run the ball. I would actually, and weather's going to be a big deal here, I'm afraid, and that does have me concerned. I really wanted a clean field, relatively banal conditions. We're in it's a weird spot because if it becomes a slop fest and you got to line up and run it, I don't know that we can.
Does that affect your quarterback choice too?
I guess. I mean, geez, I don't know. This is all. Well, we'll have to see, but we'll monitor that situation closely. If you had perfect conditions, this was all set up for a track meet. This was all set up for a high-scoring game. Take the over all day long and try to walk out of there 38-24, 38-28, 38-31, something like that. But now I don't know. Could be a little bit lesser on the scoreboard there, which concerns me. I don't think that favors us. Because I think they'll probably be able to run the ball some against us. I don't know. But what's weird about Wake? Wake runs the ball with that mesh point that you love to point out rightfully. It takes hours for them to get that run off and to decide what they're going to do, right? But they don't run a lot of outside the tackle stuff. And the teams that run outside zone and go outside the tackle against us kill us. We can't really stop anything out on the perimeter in the run game. Clemson did that right off a tackle. Willie was asked a question about it, and I don't think he liked the question. And he said, no, I think we've stopped the run better in the last few weeks. Not really. Against bad teams you did, and anything outside, if it was a non-obvious situation, you really didn't stop it. A-gap stuff, we do stop. We do stop that. We're better at that, a lot better, because we move personnel inside to stop it.
Well, and if it's a sloppy game, slosh fest in terms of the conditions, the ball, right? And so Jimbo used to make me laugh. We worked on wet ball today. A lot of wet ball work. Hey, Jimbo.
We were wetting the balls. Everybody was.
We soaked them.
Soaked the balls out there at practice. Okay.
He always got fired up when he brought that up, too.
Yeah, get excited.
But if you're going to be, riding the mesh point right to the keister of the center before you decide what you're doing, there's a chance for a lot more footballs on the ground, right?
Yeah,
in that type of weather?
Well, and if you're going to give up the gut, I like our chances. I think you got to attack us on the perimeter. That's so opposite of Florida State in years past because speed, you don't want to run outside against speed, but we really don't have any good players out there, so.
Yeah. We lack integrity of the gap variety.
That's true. Right. We also don't have depth and instincts for the position.
We're on par with the program we're playing this weekend. We're on par with the program we're playing next weekend.
Yeah.
And the weekend after that.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's a bit frustrating. So, it'll be fascinating. Anyhow, hey, tomorrow we'll get a chance to talk to our old friend David Hale. I tracked him down, and he's all about it. So I'm looking forward to it. As an aside, they did do the Adam Rittenberg piece, which I like an awful lot, where they, at the halfway point, basically, they ask what coaches off the record really think about some of the storylines in college football. And the headline caught my attention. What coaches really think about Jalen Hurts, LSU's offense, who's college football's best team. That's a good headline. And Rittenberg does good work. I've had him on before in the SiriusXM show, and he's great. So I thought, you got me, Rittenberg. Okay, I'm going to read. But right off the bat, I wanted to read, because the first question they posed to coaches in a variety of conferences was, what is contributing to Jalen Hurts' immediate success with Oklahoma in their offense? And then they followed up questions about how Lincoln Riley tailored the offense this year for him, which is different than with Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray or whatever. And, of course, these guys are complimentary. They talk about how, well, he definitely utilizes him as a running back because Jalen is a really good running back who can throw the ball down the field. And I kept waiting on it. You have a defensive coordinator, Power 5 defensive coordinator saying, quote, he's a 5-star tailback that can throw the ball. It's tough to tackle that guy. Legitimately a good running back. So I was like, okay, we got that. Then another group of 5 coach said, He's a different kind of runner, powerful runner. Most quarterbacks aren't that. They can't do that on 3rd and 4th down, but he can in short yardage situations. It's kind of the way Cam was at Auburn. Big, strong guy, hard to bring down. Goes on to say, one of the coaches does, Riley's proven system, an explosive group of wide receivers, which are led by CeeDee Lamb in the Big 12, where defenses aren't as talented as those that he saw in the SEC. Oh, they run him a lot. They also play horrible defense after horrible defense after horrible defense in that conference. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, whoever said that. That is so good. I was waiting on it. I'm like, come on, just say it. Say the reason it's happening. Because they play a bunch of teams who can't defend. So that helps. Another coach said, well, he can throw the ball down the field. He's not all that accurate, but he does have great receivers, and he can get the ball down to them against defenses that can't cover their receivers. That's not a compliment. That is not a compliment. And that is why he is going to be drafted as a running back. And I'm going to try to cut off the controversy here before it ever gets started. He needs to play running back in the NFL. That is never going to happen for him as a quarterback. Just, you're going to hear it because he's going to insist on being a quarterback, and we're going to get into this stupid-ass debate we get into every year right before the combine, and I'm telling you now.
You don't think people would point to Lamar and say it could work? Because Lamar's passing highlight tape is no bueno in college.
I still think it's no bueno. I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he is a good quarterback in the NFL. So,
but he's better than
I thought because I thought he was the worst. But, yeah, no. I don't think you win anything with him long term. No.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think you do. No, and he feasts on terrible teams and lights them up. Yeah, he does that.
Well, he's the first ever to do 200 and 150.
No,
or
it's
250,
awesome.
150, whatever.
Listen, he's got a unique skill set. There's no getting around that. I mean, that guy is a dynamic runner of the football. It's remarkable. I think, though, if he is really going to emerge as a franchise quarterback that can lead you to championships, I'm going to need him against good teams to line up and throw the ball from the pocket consistently and accurately, and I don't think he can do that. So I could be wrong. We'll find out in due time. Like you said yesterday when we were going through this, time will tell. Going to need a lot of time.
Well, yeah, it's just for me, I think the debate is, could he be a serviceable NFL quarterback, right? And I'm not saying he needs to go 1 overall. I mean, the Ravens traded back into the first round of the last pick to go get Lamar because they knew that he'd go on day 2.
Yeah.
But they wanted to get out ahead of the curve. Lamar's been more serviceable than I thought. I thought it would be like an immediately failed experiment. Yeah. You go, oh, geez.
So here's where they get credit then. The number one thing you have to do if you're going to draft a guy like that who has accuracy issues from the pocket is you cannot take away his strength of running the football. You've got to let him run it. You got to decide you're all in. I mean, look, I disagree with what Arizona did, but I don't disagree with the process. They decided they wanted to go that way, so why not hire a guy who's sub 500 at his alma mater in Texas Tech to run that Mickey Mouse offense in the NFL? Might as well. If you've planned on drafting Kyler Murray, you better let him run the system. Go ahead and do it. But I mean, I wouldn't make that decision, but if you're going to make it, you better go all in. Chips better be in the middle. You can't half-ass that decision. So Baltimore decided Flacco's not the future, which he wasn't. Now, I would have said, you're right, he's not. And either is this dude you want to draft. But they disagreed. So they took him. Well, if you're going to take him, then let him run a system he can run, and they're doing a good job of implementing that and drafting to that. So they should do that if that's what they're going to – if that's the path they want to go down.
Honestly, for me, the number one thing that's going on in Baltimore is the continuation of the fact that Mark Ingram is not a bust. We all – I mean, after 2-3 seasons, you're like, this guy, another one of those Alabama running backs.
Just not going to make it.
Like the dude, I forgot his name already, that Cleveland drafted. Trent Richardson. And then old Irsay made the trade to go get Trent Richardson. He's going to fix all the problems in Indy. Mm-hmm. And there was a long line of Alabama. Like the talking point was, well, Nick rides him into the ground. They've got no chance of the pros. Mm-hmm. Mark Ingram was one of those. Yeah. And then he was really good towards the end of his time in New Orleans, and he's really good again this year.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
He runs. I mean, we knew he ran hard, but it was like the NFL was too tough for him. And then the next thing you know, he's one of the hardest runners in the league.
But Trent Richardson did suck.
He did. There was no coming back for Trent.
No coming back for Trent whatsoever. That didn't work out. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this. I thought I could handle it. We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
To you, 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
It's bow time at Bojangles. Come in today for a 3 Chicken Supremes dinner for just $4.99. Each Chicken Supremes dinner comes with 3 of our bold, craveable chicken tenders, your choice of fixin', and a fresh buttery biscuit. Plus, you'll get a free legendary iced tea. For a limited time, get Bojangles 3 Chicken Supremes dinner with your choice of fixin' and a biscuit for just $4.99. And don't forget that free iced tea. Bojangles, it's bow time, y'all.
As sports fans, we all know this is the best time of the year. And the best places to catch all the action are at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and 7th Hill Tap Room. If you'd like a laid-back atmosphere, the 7th Hill Tap Room is your spot. 24 craft brew taps, plus wine options as well. And when you want to watch the pros, enjoy half off all craft drafts all day on Sundays. So, whether you're feeling the upstairs at the Corner Pocket or lounging down at the 7th Hill Tap Room, your game day is always covered. 2475 Appalachia Parkway, right next to Earth Fair. It may technically be autumn, but DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool & Fastener are running out a sizzling hot sale. Cordless deals that can't be beat. If you buy 2 select tools, get a dual 5-amp starter kit free. If you want to go bigger and better, buy a 2-piece premium brushless hammer drill impact kit, and you can pick a select free bare tool and get a 3rd 5-amp battery free. That's 3 tools, 3 5-amp batteries. Or buy a 3-speed brushless impact kit and get a 2nd impact kit for free. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, where the pros and serious do-it-yourselfers shop. Tallahassee location open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
You know who thinks all wiper blades are created equal? People who've never been stuck with bad ones. Not you. You know what driving with average wiper blades is really like. Worrying about the rain, squinting through the streak marks, and of course, that tense feeling that comes when you can't see the road. For over 100 years, Trico has manufactured premium wiper blades to give you a clear line of sight in any weather conditions. Because on the road, every moment matters. If you're ready to leave average wiper blades behind, head to your local Firestone Complete Auto Care for a set of premium Trico wiper blades. Trico, seeing you through.
On October 19th, the Noles take on Wake Forest, and the best place to catch the game is at Jerry's Cigar Shop on Cary Forest Parkway. Enjoy a complimentary catered menu, great deals on cigars, craft beers, and plush leather seating. Even if the Seminoles lose, you're still a winner at Jerry's Cigar Shop. And don't forget to join us for the Balmore Cigar Tasting event on October 17th, featuring event-only deals including the highly anticipated Paso Doble. Jerry's Cigar Shop is your game day watch party headquarters. Find all the deals at jerrycigarshop.com.
At Sport Clips Haircuts, we're on a mission to help our veterans with their education. In 2013, we established the VFW Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship Program. With the help of your generous donations, we've raised over $6 million and awarded more than 1,400 scholarships across the country. Visit Sport Clips today and help a hero. And on Veterans Day, November 11th, Sport Clips will donate an additional $1 for every haircut we give. Help us continue this honorable mission.
One of my favorite things about being a member at Orange Theory Fitness is the sense of community. Initially, after taking the tour and seeing the state-of-the-art equipment, I was intrigued. I became convinced even once I researched the science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired workouts, all of that. But what I didn't count on was the support, the sense of camaraderie shown by the members and the coaches. You realize pretty quickly you're not alone. And when you're pushing yourself through barriers and attempting to be your personal best, you can use all the help you can get. And it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Redemption Thursday, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished? Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Avenue in Tallahassee and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Online at ctf.nu.
From me, no, there's nothing to do around here during the week, so we're going to
Yeah, I'm checking on that line because it's time for Big Daddy to make an appearance. Thanks to our friends at Jerry's Cigars. Yeah, I want to bet against Greinke tonight because he's terrible in the postseason. ERA over 8. It feels like that it's easy money for the Yankees to pound him, doesn't it?
It feels like it.
I mean, they kind of have to win the game. Tanaka's going. He's been awesome, second all-time in the postseason.
Or will the storyline be that the Astros are the Astros? New boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah, they're incredible. They are. They can hit.
I mean, how about
maybe
the play
they'll get to Tanaka. But
the other night when it's a ground ball, third base, and it's Altuve. It's first and third, one out. Or maybe nobody out. And Altuve, without hesitation, I forget who got caught up between third and home, but he goes first to third on a pickle play.
Yeah.
And it ends up being second and third. It's a long form of a bunt almost in a weird way. But you have second and third, one out, all because Altuve's hustle is off the charts and his baseball IQ is off the charts. One of the hidden plays in Houston's win to take a 2-1 series lead. That dude is just so heady, it's ridiculous.
all their players, man, they piss me off. They play the game smart. They play hard. They play well. They're just damn good.
There was that long, the big shot way up in the stands. It's like the bleeder seats up above home plate.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see it from that angle that he knew the situation.
Oh,
and how many times do we lament
fly, yeah.
that guys, they don't know the situation in baseball, where to be, where they have to be, whether it's defensive positioning or whether it's heads up on the base paths. I mean, shoot, remember Florida State baseball 3 or 4 years ago on the base
don't
paths?
talk about it.
This guy is the anti that. He knew exactly where to be, what to do, and it's a unique situation. He was prepared for something weird, which is a rundown between third and home.
Yeah, but I think if you're 5'2", you probably have got to be great at everything there is to be great at to get noticed, to ever have a shot to show off that you can actually hit, right? So all the things defensively, base running, everything coming up, when he was discovered, he had to be exemplary. He had to be the best kid out there because otherwise nobody would have looked at him. They'd be like, well, it's shame the kid's so tiny. That's what they would have said. So my guess is that guy is Mr. Baseball in terms of the way the game's supposed to be played. It was only later on that it turned out to be a revelation that he could hit, that he mustered enough strength and bat speed to actually hit the ball at a ballpark.
Well, yeah, and it's a three-man play because you got to follow him if you're the batter, which means you got to break out of the box, and obviously he's trying to stay at a 2 because you don't know if they're going to go home or if they're going to try for 2. But then also, I think it was Springer who was between third and home.
Who's also a real good player.
You've got to string that play out long enough so that everybody's going to be A-okay and they're not going to ring up a cheap double play on you. It's just when you do those types of little things, you end up, if there's a razor-thin margin, you win those games.
You win those games, and they seem to win those games. But tonight I'm going against him, baby. It's Big Daddy's pick. Cue it up. Let's make it happen. Here you go, Jerry's Cigar Shop. We're doing the right thing.
Hey, Big Daddy, having some Red Russians tonight?
We'll know in about 47 seconds.
Into an open wing. It's picked up by Dowdy. An empty net. He scores.
Hot damn. Big Daddy's done it again. Red Russians all around, Teddy.
All right, Big Daddy.
All right, this is an easy one for me, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll live with it. Tanaka to outduel Greinke, who's been garbage. The Rays pounded his ass. He looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. The Yankees will do the same, much more formidable with the bats. Their backs against the wall. They lose this game, they're done. It's over. They'll be down 3-1 with Verlander and Cole still to go. You ain't winning that one, boys.
No.
It's everything they got tonight to get it done. Take the Yankees minus a half, plus 120 in the first 5. I like it.
He loves those first 5 innings, folks.
Oh.
They're much more controllable.
Clean up. Don't have to worry about bullpens. Bullpens, you don't want to mess with bullpens. They're the unknown. They're the variable. Just take what you know. Tanaka's great in the postseason. Greinke's not. Yankees have to win. Give up the half for 5. Boom. You like that one?
I would think we're the only show in America, at least in sports talk, maybe other kinds of talk radio, that use the Soviet national anthem for our purposes each day. For the most American thing you can do, which is wager.
Oh, they're not letting. I actually just placed the bet while we were talking here. I want to make sure that I'm good. Okay. Give me my confirmation. Place my bet. We're good. Okay.
You needed the email.
Yeah, I had to. Well, they wouldn't let me do it because they're worried about weather. So they're warning me that this may not get to the books because of weather. Cross your fingers. I hope it happens.
I got a weird one for you. Here's an obscure one. I see a really low goal total tonight in the NHL, and that is the game in St. Louis, which is historically a place where not a lot of goals are scored. But they're playing the Vancouver Canucks. And Vancouver's games have been high-scoring this year. In fact, this is the highest-scoring season, on average, at this point, which is through a handful of games, since 1996 in the NHL. And they've had a lot of meteoric rises in the last decade or so. So if you're telling me we're at a 23-year high in goal output per game, and I see that 5.5 is the total in St. Louis tonight, I'm jumping on the over, baby.
I got a new one for you as we go down further and dig that ditch even deeper into hell. I've discovered a new thing with the NHL, Tom. It's called the Grand Salami.
Grand Salami.
It's a real thing. Away goals on average, plus 3.5. Home goals, minus 3.5. They've got the Grand Salami. You can get plus 230 if you're going away goals, plus 3.5.
So they've got to score 4,
and
the home team has to score under 3. So you need the away team to win 4-3.
Well, they have, no. So away goals, the way I got to double check on the props here and how this works because I haven't done it yet.
Is this an over/under? This got to be a total.
It's a total for the
each
away
teams.
Yeah, but you don't have to bet the other side. You can just take away. You can take away teams to go over 3.5 for the night.
Okay. So you're talking about a puck line. This is confusing. So you're saying away teams.
Matthew, do you think that's a puck line, or do you think that's?
That can't be a total, obviously.
No, can't be a total. Everybody's going to have.
So you need all away teams to lose by 3 or fewer goals, or win.
That's right. You're getting
outright.
That's
okay.
correct. That's what you need. Yes, I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking about an
right.
individual game,
as
in like away teams need to average above 3.5 goals.
I screwed that up. I'm sorry. I explained that wrong because I was wrong. You're right. No, that's what you need. Plus 3.5.
The Grand Salami.
It's called the Grand Salami.
Hot damn! Big Daddy's done it again.
We're going to start doing the Grand Salami on here. Well, you can do it with home teams too, home goals as well.
So home teams need to win combined by 4 or more goals on the night.
Combined.
Yes. Yeah, but home ice doesn't exist. It's interesting.
Well, I would always, I think, take the plus.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because you also get plus 230. We have just alienated every listener.
Analytics.
We have just alienated every listener.
I don't think so. I think many listeners are going,
what is this? Well, does Big Daddy have something? I don't have to understand it. I just have to listen to him.
They're like a deer who is rustling in the woods.
All right, so Big Daddy
popped up. They said, what is this?
Big Daddy's going to research this. We're going to start getting down on the Grand Salami. We're going to make it happen. Phrasing, Cameron. Phrasing. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. We got the soccer guys next.
Yes, we do.
And then it's the National Football League's presentation of the Kansas City Chiefs on the road against the Denver Broncos. A little Thursday night football.
Our friends at Westwood One.
Thank you, Westwood One. Thank you, listeners. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, but just